Okay, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Swag! You guys still
sound
fucked
it out,
up.
but I don't care.
It'll be fine.
It'll
The
be
editor
okay.
will deal with it, and that'll
Yeah.
probably be Jesse. So.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, that's what my
he does like the most.
that's what my
He's
fans
always
think,
got like a million
apparently.
projects. So, I guess whose channel is this going on? Is it?
It's gotta be the Horseman, right?
I thought this was. Is this not a Horsecast?
Yeah,
so
it's gotta be. That's the dream. TVAP was founded to be on the Horsecast.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It should
so
be the
you gotta
goal
do your
of
intro
everyone.
then, Jesse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Horsecast. This one is going to be a clusterfuck. There's like 6 of us, 7.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of us. Digi's here. He's always here. Me and him, we're butt buddies. Gibbons here. He's my bottom bitch. He's there too. We've got these 2 guys that I don't know.
Yeah.
The 2 guys from the T-BAP. That's 2
new
big
kids on the
bungholes. Beat off always. Padre. That's Spanish
That's
father.
us.
They beat off
We're
always
going
Padre.
multi-ethnic. Yeah, we try to reach out.
Everyone's
Hello,
here.
everybody.
All the people that matter. This is the new clique. If
It's
you're not,
true.
if you're a brony guy and you're not on this podcast, it's
You might
because
as
you're
well
a
kill
fucking
yourself.
loser. And
Yeah.
your channel sucks, and your artwork sucks, and your
I know.
OC sucks, and you're probably fat.
Jesse,
Nobody
Jesse,
loves you.
Let's be honest. I mean, that was true whether or not we made this podcast.
That's
I
true.
do think but part of the reason for this podcast existing is that the 5 of us,
Yeah.
I think, have become a bit of a clique, like an interior within the Brony analysis community clique. I mean, it's not to say that you guys,
alligator.
huh?
Oh, nothing. Go on.
No, it's not that it's not that you guys are the only Brony analysis I still watch or anything.
Yeah.
I still watch Tom, although his videos
Yeah.
seem to be getting boring lately.
Yeah, a
if
little
I'm
bit.
being completely honest. Like I just don't think his heart's in it anymore.
I think
he
he's
just wants
sick right
to
now,
make
though.
money.
But I don't know.
But so I still watch Tom, Past Analysis I'm friends with, and Skywatcher, and and a couple other people. But for the most part, like
yeah,
the videos I get excited about is like
it's
this little group, and I think that's
Yeah.
become increasingly clear that we all kind of promote one another.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. But
We're
we do need some
friends.
bitches up in here. That's
No, we don't. I am so fucking sick of these desperate, thirsty hoes. I was just talking to him about this. This fucking.
yeah.
Oh my god! Like these fangirls add me, and then we start talking, and it's like, oh god, I'm gonna show you my boobs within like 10 minutes of talking to you because that's what I think men find attractive. It blows my mind how completely oblivious women are to what men find attractive anymore because they've just been lied to all their lives and fed this feminist line about how great it is to be a slut. They don't realize that I find that shit fucking disgusting. It disgusts me that these thirsty Jezebel hussies.
Jesse, as always,
Your fans
you
just
make
need to
an
be my
excellent
fans.
point, couched in anger, and I love it.
The
No, but
problem
seriously,
with
those fans should be
Jesse's-
my fans instead.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like that's because for those who don't know, I'm currently heartbroken and more depressed
Oh, shit.
than I've been in years because my girlfriend broke up with me.
No.
2 days ago.
Oh, what? I didn't hear about that
Oh,
shit.
dude, that is the
Fuck.
best depression. That's like
I know.
of
It's
all
great at the end of the
depressions,
tunnel.
That's like one of my favorite.
It's definitely the most hardcore one in terms of
Yeah.
like all the they say you go through like the 6 stages of grief or whatever.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just kind of go through them like a roulette. Like any given hour, it's like pick a stage. So it's either acceptance and everything's fine, or it's like just absolute regret, denial, and
so that's
bargaining.
why you were talking
know?
about banging stanky ass hoes at BronyCon.
Digi,
Right.
if I knew
That
the
makes sense
first
now.
goddamn thing about her, I would tell you everything that I hate about her, but unfortunately I don't.
I'll bet
No,
you
we
fucking
didn't end on
brown-noser.
bad terms, but it's just a case of like, it seemed like it was like it really to me like we never really discussed it, but it seemed like it was ending.
Yeah,
It was like reaching that point,
Yeah.
and then she was avoiding me for a couple days, and so I called
Ugh.
her out on it, and she said like we need a break. And I was like, yeah, well, that sounds like we need to break up because I don't know what you mean by a break.
That's
You don't-
right, buddy. That's what you do.
I
Don't
always
fall for
found
their
her-
bullshit and their shit tests.
Yeah.
When they try to get you on that break shit, it's because they're trying to manipulate you. Don't fucking fall for that shit. Just
I
tell
would
them,
have to
piss
agree.
off then.
I mean, what I told her was just because I still have some feelings for her, obviously, or else I wouldn't be
Of course
depressed
you do,
about it.
yeah.
And she probably still has some feelings for me, but the fact of the matter is that she, when she said I want us to take a break, that to me is like you're trying to cling to the idea that there's still somebody there. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit around for like 6 months, you know, with my thumb up my ass, like waiting around for you. I was like, I'm gonna be lonely, so I'm gonna go try to fuck someone. Basically, is what I said.
It's the right thing to do, man.
I told and she said, she was like, you know, I don't mind if you see other people, and I was like, then that's probably what's gonna happen. You know.
Yeah. You know, I don't mean to rag this. I'm not trying to rag on her at all. I'm just saying, like, I always found it interesting. But like, she doesn't like do anything, but like, she kind of became famous just because she like knows you. And, like, she's got this, you know, she's got her image and shit.
I made that happen, really, because the thing is, I have a tendency, anyone I know, I'm going to put them up, right?
Yeah,
like, especially if I feel like they want it. Like, she was, when I met her, she was super depressed and stuff, you know?
Oh, that's so attractive. I can see why you went for her. Oh!
No, she was depressed. I mean, I can relate. I've been depressed for most of my life, so, like, I got it, you know? But what attracted me to her is that the way we met was on the Pub Crawl, the show I was just telling you about that I do every Tuesday and Thursday. And I was drunk, and she had never listened to the show before. She just happened to be listening to it. And apparently she had been literally in love with me from watching my videos.
Oh,
like, well, weren't we all?
Like, well, I don't know. Do you masturbate to my videos?
Absolutely.
Well, then there you go.
I'm just always masturbating, and sometimes it just so happens that your video's on.
Yeah, sometimes your videos pass into my line of sight, and then, well, whatever happens, happens.
But in any case, you know, we started dating because she literally told, like, I was on the Pub Crawl and I was like complaining that I hadn't gotten laid, and I was like 22 years old because I was drunk and just being a little bitch. And then she was like in the chat, and she's like, "Well, I told you I'd have sex with you as like a comment on one of your videos or something like that." And I was like, "Oh, really?"
What, and
I wasn't taking her seriously.
Oh,
Right, because I have like no self-confidence up until like our relationship that women like actually found me attractive. I just always kind of thought they were joking, you know?
I know what you mean, yeah.
So like when I started talking to her, and like she quickly made it apparent that like she was serious, and unlike Jesse, I was like, "Oh, you want to send me nudes right now? Go ahead." Like, you know.
Oh no,
You know,
I let him send me nudes. Don't get me wrong, but I hate them for it secretly.
Oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, our relationship was founded on like, you know, her being so in love
That
with
long
me, and we were
distance
both
shit, dude.
like we were obsessed with each other, you know, like that kind of thing. And so when that obsession started to die down, it was like, you know, you can't keep a long because she lives in fucking Montana. I mean, she's moving back to the East Coast soon, but she's not gonna live close enough that we could see each other often. 'Cause she's gonna like go to school and work. And that was pretty much what killed it. Like, up until now, we kind of had this expectation that at some point we'd end up living together, like, before too long, or we'd have some kind of situation where we could see each other more than every fucking, like, 6 months. And then when it became apparent that she was like, yeah, I'm going to have to go to school and get a job, and I'm just not going to see your ass, you know, like, even less probably once I moved back to the East Coast, I was like, oh, man, you know, and it just kind of went downhill from there. And
nah, man, you got the greatest thing out of that relationship, and that is just having sex. And once you break that barrier, the world is your fucking oyster.
You guys,
am I right?
You guys are young. You don't understand what it truly is. What a true depth of a relationship. I don't know what the fuck
What is this guy
about.
talking about? I'm the oldest. I'm fucking 65 years old
I
over here.
believe that
what
I
is
am
the age
oldest.
difference between Ben and
Ben's
Nate?
25. Ben's 25. I'm 23.
Oh, wow. I'm 24.
Jesse's...
Woo!
Oh, there you go. Ben wins. Seniority. Goes to the guy
How old
with
is
the shitty
Gibbon?
mic.
He's 20.
I'm
right?
Gibbon's like
20.
19.
Woo!
Oh, 20,
You're
right.
20?
Gibbon's been
I
around
did
since
it.
before the dawn of time. He's a wizard.
He looks like one, yeah.
Yeah.
Gibbon,
I
No,
just
Gibbon
wanna- I
looks
just wanna
young.
say-
If Gibbon had said 18,
Oh, wait, Gibbon
I
wants to
would
say
not have
something.
been that surprised.
I just want to say that this is going fucking exactly how I thought it would. I would not be able to say a single word for like 10 hours.
I know. Digi's fucking won't ever shut up,
It's
and we just
6
keep
in the
yelling at
morning
each other.
now. I'm gonna wake all
6
of my
in the
housemates
morning.
up. Sorry.
I have a topic of conversation for you, Jesse.
Oh.
Are you a fan of Sonichu?
Am I a... God, what? No, fuck, why?
Why?
Oh,
I'm a fucking
come
fan of
on.
Sonichu. I love
Oh
Sonichu,
my
and I
God.
saw you
Why?
put that shit on Maud's butt. I saw it, and I
Yeah,
love
because
you for it.
it's a joke.
No,
It's
listen,
like the
listen.
international symbol for Spurg.
I fucking
Yeah, that's
love
true.
Sonichu. Unironically, it is the greatest fucking
Oh
thing
my
I have ever read. I'm not even kidding.
Ben.
I'm not even kidding.
I
It
think
is
you're getting the
excellent.
word irony confused or something.
No. I sincerely enjoy
Stupidity?
it. The guy is amazing in like the worst way.
Well, that's true.
Everyone, listeners, go read Sonichu. It's the greatest.
No, I don't
Watch
want
the
It
to.
has my
audiobooks or something.
personal.
No,
it has
give it,
Phantom
do it.
Horn's
It's great.
personal endorsement.
I have actually.
Ben, are you a Homestuck?
I'm a biggest fucking Homestuck.
He's a homo.
So
Yeah.
would you
Gay.
say because I'm a huge Homestuck fan, right?
I think we
and,
talked about this.
Of course,
briefly.
Well,
my
that
favorite
changes everything.
like I think anyone who's like us, who's a little bit more intelligent, you know,
Mhm.
it's
Of
gonna
course.
their favorite character, or at least the one you relate to most, is gonna be
Carcat.
Dirk, just because.
No, not.
No?
I like
You don't feel it?
Dave much better than Dirk.
I'm not gay, so I can't relate to
Dave,
Dirk,
I mean,
you know,
Dave's
at
a
all.
little cooler, but Dirk to me, like,
No, Dave's
just-
not cool. Dave's a nerd. Dave's like
Well,
the
yeah.
least cool guy ever, and that's what I love about him.
What I love about Dirk though is his explanation of irony, how he was saying
Oh
like,
yeah.
because like Dave's always saying that he enjoyed stuff ironically, and Dirk
Yeah.
was like, there's a level of enjoying things ironically where there's
Oh.
no line anymore.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know
that
where.
is exactly where I'm at with
Right,
Sonic
that's
2.
me. Like that resonated with me so much. Where I'm like, I don't have. There's no such thing as guilty pleasure. There's no such thing as ironic enjoyment. It's like I either like it or I don't. That's you know.
I don't think
the
I've
line in
ever
the sand,
liked
you know?
anything ironically. I either think stuff is awesome or I don't.
Right, but like you don't feel like you think it's awesome, even though because so many people are like, oh well, it's a guilty pleasure because like they feel like they're supposed to not
What,
like it,
Homestuck?
but they do, and I'm like, no, fuck that.
That's
I
just
think
pussy
it's awesome.
hipster queef shit.
Why would Homestuck be liked ironically?
I
It's
don't.
just legitimately
No, I think
good.
he's just talking about stuff in general.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, just stuff in general. I have a question for Ben and Nate because you guys to me are a hive mind.
Hive.
Oh,
Like
Well-
not in terms of thought, but in terms of the way you communicate. You guys can like have the your show is unscripted for the most part, right?
More
Yeah,
or less.
yeah.
More or less.
And the back and forth is so fast. And when I saw it, like at first I thought you just cut out all the stops, but then I watched your Q&A, and you guys will just talk in a way that it's like you interpret what the other person says before they're done saying it.
we
we
do
just know
cut
each
out
other,
we do
man.
cut out stops, and we do record it in chunks to keep things flowing.
I mean, no, Digi's pretty much right. We really do. I mean, we just kind of like flow it for the most part. We only cut out like the ums and the likes and like the shitty takes or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's just that we just, I don't know, like even sometimes, not to be gay or anything, but like we kind of can like predict what the other person's gonna think. Like that happens to
Right.
us sometimes, right?
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
not a rare occurrence.
I guess
yeah.
just because we
So-
know each other pretty well by this
Yeah, we're
by
into
this
a lot
point.
of the same stuff, and yeah, we hang out
I
a
mean,
lot. So.
like me and my little brother hang out constantly, and we always have throughout our whole life.
Yeah.
But like, we don't have anywhere near that level of like we can't finish each other's sentences that way. You know,
I
like
think it probably comes across as being more intense than it actually is in the videos, just because we edit we do like condense our thoughts down specifically to like record
yeah,
it.
that's
Right.
It's kind of true. Yeah,
Me and-
I don't know. There's no
Me and
special
my
answer.
brothers are kind
I
of
think
like
it
that.
might be also because you guys both speak. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I've just never seen like a pair of siblings where both of them are like actively. Like, if I talk to my brother, he's not an active participant in conversation. It's all
I
me.
heard. I
because-
think was it
I'm not
was it
surprised.
no, it wasn't Ava. It was the ones the Shaun of the Dead reviews with him, and like yeah,
Right.
you're definitely the one talking throughout that whole thing. Gibbon, get your brothers in a video.
Yeah, I want to see your
would.
adorable little bros.
Well, yeah, I suppose I could try that. I'm going over to my parents' house where they live on Easter, so I could do a thing.
East.
But yeah,
Where
Where
man.
do you live?
You've got two of them, right?
yeah.
Cool.
They live
How
in
old are they?
London, and I live a little north of London. So I could
But
see
like,
them, but I can't
are
drive.
you like living alone or?
You're
He's
at,
living
I'm
in like
living-
you're
a
at school,
dorm,
right?
I'm-
right?
University, the dorm with roommates and people.
What about
Yeah.
you two?
I have an apartment.
I don't want to talk.
I have
about
I have an apartment in Providence. Nate, let's say, doesn't.
it. Yeah,
For the
that's
moment.
all that needs to be said.
For the moment. He's
I mean, we all know that Jesse lives in his mom's basement, and I live in my parents' attic. So
I'm
like,
glad you guys have come to terms with
that
that.
makes
but
me
I'm still,
the champion of
Yeah,
housing.
Ben wins. Ben lives alone.
You
He's
gotta
the hero.
live
No,
the
no.
gimmick.
I have a roommate. I have a landlord that I live with.
I know. I've just got some things I just can't.
Oh god, I gotta go in the other room and fart so it's not in the podcast.
No, come back.
No, we gotta keep it real. No, well,
It guys, Horsecast over. It's not real anymore.
I admire that
I like-
professionalism.
I like how he's willing to piss in
screaming at
jars, but not fart next to himself.
you all heard that.
It's in constant agony.
He was telling me he ate tons of Wendy's this morning, so his ass was just on fire all day.
What's wrong?
So,
What's wrong with Wendy?
I think this is
What?
Ben. It's full of shit that no man was ever made to eat.
Well-
That's what's wrong with it.
What,
but
Wendy's?
Wendy's.
We're used to it by now.
Oh, fuck Wendy's. I had Wendy's this morning, and I've just been
I was
bloated
just
and
telling you.
gaseous all
We were
day.
talking about your Wendy's.
Wendy's is like a scientifically created diarrhea formula. It's like
You're
amazing.
exactly right.
Hey, you know what I'll never get? You know what I'll never get to taste? The pretzel bun.
No.
Oh fuck! Don't
I
say
had
that shit.
Sadly,
Dude, you know what's
that was
fucked up,
beautifully
though?
Disgusting.
Skywatcher told me that they still have those where he is, and I told him fucking mail me one.
Thanks to you, Digi, for that your review of that sandwich. I went and I watched. Oh, who's that big black guy who reviews food in his car?
Dame Drops.
Yes, Dame Drops. I went and I watched like a ton of Dame Drops for hours.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Dame Drops with another super official food review. Can you dig it, baby? I know you can. Hey, listen, man.
I love him. I love that guy. He is.
Dude, you guys ever see that weird 15-year-old white kid who like reviews like Red Robin individual pizza slices?
No.
You ever see his like food reviews? I don't even know what the guy's called, but like he's always popping up on 4chan. It's like, our king has released another review. Everyone
wow.
gather round.
Do they?
I don't know.
Do they?
That's the end
Do
of the
they
story.
like him ironically?
I think they do. I think they do. We've had another element to the mystery here.
I don't think 4chan likes anything unironically.
They like.
Depends
Well,
on the
maybe
porn.
on Moo.
I
but,
don't
like,
think that anyone on 4chan is not mentally handicapped.
I used.
Fuck you. I'm on 4chan every day. I love that.
I used to draw fag on TG all the time.
I keep wondering if me and Nate are like secretly on Moo at the same time.
Probably.
we probably are.
Like we just don't know because it's all anonymous.
Speaking of Mew, I finally got my shit together and listened to Yeezus the other day, and I
Yeah?
thought it was pretty. Actually, you know what was interesting? I saw your post that you liked Needle
Beautiful
Drop's
Dark
review of I don't know, some shit I had never heard of.
Oh.
But then I was like, oh, let's see what this guy has to say about Yeezus. So I listened to it, and then I went and listened to his review of it, and turns out I'm a complete fucking plebe because I liked it. And he was like, no, it was shit for all these
No,
reasons.
I mean, you gotta remember, Fantano is not necessarily who people agree with, and Yeezus
Yeah, no,
was
no.
like widely considered one of the best albums of last year.
I
it's
fucking
true, but
hated
you know,
it.
I didn't like it either. I liked Black Skinhead,
Yeah, me
but
too,
only
me too.
over time that I like it, like from hearing it out and around.
Oh, I really liked Blood on the Leaves with that Nina Simone little bit in there. And, like, I just was like, Jesus, Kanye, would you shut the fuck up with the auto-tune and just let her sing? She is so much
like,
better than you.
I just
The
think that
thing is-
Kanye is just like a corny, phony, just untalented rapper.
I know, he's my hero. He's my hero.
Like, no, as a rapper, I don't like him, but as a producer, I do. And the thing is, because I've never gotten into Kanye until,
he's a great producer.
2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Oh,
And
really?
I don't know if I
did you
told
listen to
any.
his first two albums?
I feel like I told one of you guys this, but like,
not me.
because I've listened to his stuff, here and there, but I've never gotten into it. And then the other,
College Dropout's
like
amazing.
a week ago, there was a night where I got I got super drunk. This is actually the last night I really talked to my girlfriend because she got wasted,
Yeah.
I got wasted, everyone I know got wasted, right? And it was this night that started off like really fun, and then it went and got like really dark and horrible, and like everything fell apart,
So of
and
course
everyone
you
was crying and
you
shit.
busted out the yay.
Right, so that's when I had downloaded My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy like a few days before just to have it,
nice.
to eventually listen to it. So I listened to it like in that state of mind, and it just
Fuck.
clicked with me completely. I was like, I get it now. Like this is an album about, a fun, like that line between where you want to have like this excess and this fun time, but it's going to lead to this horrible destruction and
You're absolutely
desperation.
right. It's just that everything since then has also been about that same thing with him.
Right.
Whereas like his original stuff was all about like, oh man, college is like not the institution that America like says it is. You're
Right.
wasting your money, you're wasting your life. Fucking that stuff was original and awesome. And like Yeezus, was like about, again, the beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy thing.
Right.
And so it just, I don't know, it didn't bring anything new to the table. Like,
Yeah,
where
his,
that's
it's all about his
concerned.
fame.
I don't
and-
know. I
and all
guess
that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to save crap the same way I saved My Little Pony
Dude,
analysis.
please bring back your Luna rap was amazing.
Yes.
Your
Letters
I love
Letters
Butt
to
Chugger.
Luna is a
Butt
close
Chugger's the
second
best
to
song
Butt
ever made.
Chugger.
Yeah,
The Sombra rap
Yeah.
is not bad either. I remember like
Yeah, that one's good.
I
That
felt
one's
like
good.
if that was on a like a well-produced beat, it would have been like a legit song I would have saved to my
Yeah.
computer.
I don't remember that one.
I just stole the beat from somewhere and I thought it sounded cool because it was Mexican sounding, so I turned it into. I don't know. The somber rap I made in literally like 20 minutes, and
Really?
the Luna rap, I was like really proud of that rap because like
It's
I thought
great,
the lyrics
dude.
were really good and like the flow was really good and everything. But I felt like just the
And a little girl's cartoon.
yeah, but like it got to a
That
point
line's
where I
fucking
was listening to it, I'm like, this song is so good that the pony aspect of it fucking ruins it.
Dude,
it's
tell me about
Yeah.
it. I know.
better than My Little Pony, and I want to like
I know.
retool it and like, but I can't retool it because the fucking song
know,
is
yeah.
about fucking,
You
I don't know. It's not. It's just.
I'm with you, brother.
Like I shot a video for it.
You know what,
actually, and I
that's
still
a
have
quality-
footage on my computer.
That's a quality
like-
problem to have. Is all.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I should
that's
put this
true.
video together, but then I'm like, do I really want to be a guy with like a hardcore fucking rap, like one of those fucking brony rappers like yelling at cats who tries to be all edgy and tough? Like, give me a fucking break. It's fucking, like I just thought it would be cool to
Dude.
have like a really like mean like angry rap, but then just like kind of twist it on its head and like have it be like a pony gimmick.
Dude, like
Yeah.
relevant to that, because one of my favorite, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but like one of my favorite YouTube videos, and one that actually was kind of important to teaching me a little bit about rap, was I'm sure you all know about Swagberg, right? The guy who did Pony Swag.
Nope.
Oh, that song sucks.
Not
Fuck
off.
him.
No, I don't.
Nope. Never heard of him.
But he knows.
What? You don't like Pony Swag, Jesse?
I hate that song. I hate Are You Proud to Be a Brony? I hate brony music. It's corny.
Yeah.
It's lame. All these
All right,
rappers
well-
suck.
In any case, Pony Swag, I like the song. Swagberg, I've listened to his non-pony stuff. It's good shit. Like he's a great rapper, great producer too. So I think he's pretty legit. I'll send you his album. You'll probably like it, Jesse. There's a song on there about Facebook politics that's pretty fucking hilarious. Just about people like bitching on Facebook about their political
try.
opinions and how it's always just a load of shit. It's a fun song. He's a good rapper. In any case, one time like Yelling at Cats was like trying to come at him and be all like, like trying to diss him and like start a feud or something. And
That's
he
real
just
rapper
makes this,
shit.
he makes this video where he was like explaining, like literally explaining why Yelling at Cats is like a shitty rapper. And like just in like the most relaxed, chilled out way,
Oh, he didn't-
where he's
he
like
didn't
he
rap it,
shows
he
his
just
rhymes
said it?
on screen and he's like, all right, so you have one rhyme at the end of each line, and that's it. And then he shows like one of his raps, and it's like showing the entire rhyme structure of the song. And I was
well,
just
try
like,
hard.
Pretty cool then.
right?
okay
It's
in my-
fun to watch because you're just like, I didn't realize like how densely like rhymes worked in a lot of rap songs. Where
Yeah, that is
it was
pretty
like
cool.
I would
these different triplicate rhymes and all this fucking shit that he was doing.
I would give
But the best-
anything for a rapper to diss me.
The best part
fucking wish.
That legitimizes you as a rapper.
I just wish I had a fucking excuse to destroy someone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it really is that. Like, when you watch the video, you feel like Yelling at Cats could not have come back from that. Like, it was too much of a diss. And the best part is at the very beginning, he's like, because he's sitting in a chair, and he's like, I'd stand up, but I hurt my leg playing thug ball. And that shit just killed me.
Thug ball. That's where you kick like a cannonball as a soccer ball. Sounds gangster.
That's when you kick a ball of crack cocaine.
Yep.
I don't know shit.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know shit
reminds
about
me.
music, guys.
Well, I do. The only good rap on Kanye's only good thing on that fucking Yeezus shit was at the beginning of Fuck You. I lost my train of thought. Now I can't
let's have a
remember. Whatever.
completely unrelated conversation while they're going about this.
It's all I can do. It's just sort of. Hopefully somebody will
But
notice
Gibbon
me.
makes music, too.
I
so-
yeah.
I thought you
Go
just
go to
played.
get Bandcamp/me, and then find the things.
That's cool.
Your song,
You're
your
pretty
Chicken
good,
and a
man.
Basketball is legitimately one of the coolest songs I've ever heard in my life.
I haven't heard that. I haven't really heard anything
Wait,
of your music.
let me
yet.
Do you
link
just
it
do? Is it
Let
like
me-
acoustic stuff like you normally do on your? I've only seen your stuff in the videos. You playing
yeah.
when the levee breaks or I forget over the
the rain
hills
song.
and far away.
Yeah.
yeah.
All
Nate,
that.
You're,
I started to learn
you're-
that song after you.
Your
After you
Patreon
played it.
video made me actually give In the Aeroplane Over the Sea another shot, and I still don't like it. As hilarious as it is to, I love you, Jesus Christ.
I dig that song. I dig that whole album. It's pretty great. I don't know. That's like the album that like got me into listening to more music. So it's just got like a
Right.
special place in my heart. So
I think that's true for like most of Mew. Like,
I know
that's-
it is.
That's
It
why
is.
it's the ultimate Mewcore album, but I just
Yeah.
don't get it personally.
I fucking hate indie music.
It's not even indie anymore. It's the most
Yeah.
popular indie thing. Therefore,
Yeah.
it's not
I
even
mean,
indie anymore.
Right.
So
It's like OK Computer. Like, you
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
well, like I know of it,
critically
but like I
acclaimed.
don't like. Like at some point, like after high school, Like, I mean, like, we all grew up listening to, like, the same stuff. Me and my friends, like, oh, yeah, we like all these bands. And then, like, at some point after high school, everyone just decided to like all this music that I've never fucking heard of in my life. And now I go to, like, parties, and people are, like, playing these songs on acoustic guitar, and everyone's, like, singing along, and I'm like, when did you guys get together and decide this? Not Wonderwall. Wonderwall's famous. I mean, like, this shit...
It's probably fucking Neutral Milk Hotel. They're probably
no. They're singing "I Love You, Jesus Christ."
No, they do. That's why I thought of that.
That's a party song. That's a jam. If you can bust out that, if you can replicate that on an acoustic guitar, no one can though.
I can't. I don't know. That album in particular just doesn't. I mean, I like folk. I like that kind of music and stuff, but that album just doesn't.
You like folk? You don't like Joanna Newsom. You don't like folk. Don't lie to me.
I thought it was okay, but it was okay. The thing is, and I was gonna get back to this about Kanye, like why I like Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is because I like music that's very like just a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
like
that's him.
More shit going on, more better. And Kanye doesn't do that on his other albums. Like they're usually he goes for minimalism, and then that album was like his maximalism album, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I mean I still don't love it. It's not like my favorite hip hop album or something, but I thought it was you know I got it. It clicked with me, especially the song "Runaway," which is just fun. Let's have a toast for the douchebags.
Oh yeah, I love that song. Have a toast for the assholes.
I'm sorry we're talking about Yeezy so much. We should have just Nate. Me and you need to have a different musical podcast at some point.
We will. Yeah, let's
greatest
do it. We'll
album
get fucking Blind Skywatcher
ever made
in there.
Is Afterburner by ZZ Top.
I've never listened to it.
That's a good one.
It's just a planet of women. Oh yeah. Driving me insane.
You know what? I haven't listened to it, so I believe you.
I had that album, and my tape deck ate it because it was on cassette.
Oh, that sucks.
So I took the cassette and I turned the tape into a bracelet that I still wear to this day.
That's gangsta. I took a woman's headband and turned that into a bracelet for a while, just because I could. Top that.
I once wore a bracelet.
I don't care about bracelets. Let's talk about something else.
One time, I put my whole face in a woman's vagina, and I became a human worm eating the pink soil.
Oh man, that reminds me. I love your fucking stand-up thing. Have you been doing stand-up since that shit you posted? Like what was that? Like 3 years ago or something?
It was 1 year ago. And yeah,
okay.
I actually did a new one last week, and in fact, it's waiting for me to post it. But
oh damn!
Oh sweet, I will be on that shit.
That was very good.
We've kind of had this discussion before where, like, Jesse would be doing stand-up if there was a stand-up where he lives.
Yeah,
you know?
no venues.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're in Michigan.
Because he's fucking great at it, and that was that video is the only time he's done it before.
You're in Michigan, right?
Really? No way.
Yeah, that was my first time.
I figured that you were like a regular stand-up comedian, like, you know, a like amateur, but who just decided to do pony shit or, you know, like make videos.
Well,
because like your performance style, like, really fits stand-up comedy. So it seems like the natural choice.
That was my first time, and I was pretty fucking nervous.
Well, you killed it, man. You killed it.
As soon as I got on stage and like got that first chuckle, it just was like totally washed away. I'm like, okay, this is where I fucking belong.
For sure. The way you talked about like such like raunchy shit, and everyone just they just got into the flow, you know.
Yeah, and the one that I just did last week, like. I knew that we were going to an open mic like a week before, but I didn't fucking prepare for it at all because I'm lazy and My Little Pony ruins my life and stops me from doing anything. So I got there and I put my name on the list of people to do it with no material at all. And I sat in the audience while everyone else was up there and just like crafted a 10-minute stand-up bit while I was waiting for my turn.
Oh my god,
that sounds awesome.
And then I got up there and I fucking killed and I destroyed everything. It was beautiful.
Fucking rad, dude.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, can't wait to see it.
Like my friends were like looking over it because I was like hunched over and I was like in the fucking danger zone, and they were like, "Oh my god, Jesse looks really fucking like nervous or sick. Are you okay, man? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just creating."
Relevant to the topic of pony analysis, I'm about to be over a week late for like the first time in season 4.
Shit,
do one.
It's true. Only T-Bap is reliable. Gets that shit out on time.
I used to be reliable,
like
but then I flew too close to the sun.
Gibbons.
Nah, your shit's better
Gibbons
now.
reliable within the week usually.
Yeah.
He didn't do one for
I
video
ruined Gibbon
calls,
too.
yeah.
I ruined
that's true.
Gibbon's reliability too because I filmed a 10-minute cameo for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was up with that? I heard you guys talk about that, but that never.
No, it's happening. It's just I haven't
okay.
got down to animating it.
Gibbon was like,
okay.
"Oh, just record whatever you want." I'm like, "Okay," and I like come back with this like 12-minute spiel of nonsense.
And that's for Sweetie Belle Toils.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute review now, and I'm gonna animate half of it, and it's gonna take a long time.
That's a bear.
But it's gonna be the best one. But it's gonna have hardly any actual analysis in it.
All the good ones don't have any analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why our videos are the most
not true.
popular. I know. The best ones are like are Anthony C or Drowning here, who mix in super humor.
I
with
think,
the super
by the
analysis.
way, because Jesse got pissed off when you guys praised his videos in
I
your
know,
Q&A,
yeah.
and then
I did.
immediately...
I was
And
furious.
said Anthony C was our favorite.
I was
Right,
on a
and then you
rampage.
immediately
I
said
stand
it.
by it. Anthony C is the king,
I don't-
except for his last video.
You know,
which was
I don't
like,
think so
okay.
anymore, just because
His
Anthony,
yeah.
we've been calling Anthony C the king on the basis of like 3 videos, and at this point, Jesse's done like 4 or 5 like really amazing videos.
It might be nostalgia affecting my judgment because he was
right,
like
that's
the one
back-
who made
back
me
in the
realize
day,
how amazing these could be.
It was just
Right,
Anthony
exactly.
C
Yeah.
that had like the top shelf shit.
Right,
now there's
exactly.
more
Like,
choice.
yeah.
I
because
almost
they
Yeah, that's true.
spent, like him and Tom spent 8 months working on that one video.
Did they?
you
And
know,
it was so good.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
the best.
But like when you look back at it, it's like, I mean, it's still great, but
Yeah.
it's just back then it was so like mind blowing
Yeah.
that someone spent this much
Yeah,
time on
yeah.
something, and now that's just the only one. Like his other videos are pretty good as well.
Yeah.
But like
yeah.
comparatively, I feel like Jesse's passed him by now. Just like when I
Well,
saw
like
Jesse's
a lot of
Mod Pie
a lot of
video,
stuff
I was
I'm
like,
sure looked really good before I came in and fucked this game up the ass and fucking rocked the boat and made you all better. You hear me?
We got here after you. You didn't make us better.
All of you out there listening to my voice, you need me, so you can point your fucking fingers. Have I done the Scarface rant before? I feel like
I
I've
was
done
just
this
gonna
one
say
before.
Scarface. I haven't heard it. Go on.
Ah, fuck it. I've probably done it before. I can't even keep track anymore.
I don't think you've done a Scarface.
suits you. It
always
suits
do the
you.
one about the sub sandwiches.
Yeah,
like you've done that.
That's
in, like,
that's my favorite.
Oh god. Fuck, what was I even talking? Right, the analysis video, the one I'm doing right now for
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck is it called? Leap of Faith.
Mhm.
Leap of faith.
And I'm writing it and it's like fuck, I started late in the week cuz the last few weeks I've just been like dead to the world. I don't give a fuck about anything. And then I was like started writing it and it was just the most depressing shit I've ever written. Like it's like literally starts off
You're gonna kill your fans. They're gonna commit suicide.
right. Like by the 3rd paragraph, I literally announce everything in this world can possibly kill you, and then I like spend like paragraphs talking about how we're all going to die, and then I give a story about my mom going through cancer.
I want it.
And like
That's what I want to
and then-
see from Digibro's channel. Not even joking.
and then I go, oh man, this is too depressing. Gibbon, tell a joke. And then I do Jesse after Gibbon, and they both tell like horrible jokes that are just even more depressing. So like, the whole video is just gonna like completely wreck
Cool.
anyone who watches it,
No, that
including
sounds
myself. Because like now it's the video that not only did I not finish writing it, but like now my girlfriend broke up with me while I'm writing
Oh,
this
yeah,
depressing
yeah.
video. So I just like part of me just wants to make it even worse.
Hey,
like
you
I
know
just want to
what?
make it the saddest fucking
It'll be a
video.
theater
it.
piece.
You know what,
Do
dude?
it.
Do it.
Do
Make
it.
it as bad as possible because that's how you get a Hello Kitty on your hands.
That's true.
Is that like
that is one of my favorite internet. Maybe that's why I put Drowning above Anthony C though. Is not just because of Pony,
his
but because
his
you
little
know.
review of
Hello Kitty. It's one of my
Oh,
favorite internet.
that video
videos.
is a legend.
Jesse, I just gotta say, I find
it's
it
great.
very inspiring that so much of your best work came pretty much entirely out of your hatred of Final Fantasy 13. So much of it is based on that one game being terrible.
know.
It's
It
really
started it all.
impressive.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Wait, did you actually watch my like hour-long Final Fantasy 13 video?
Yes.
Or 13-2?
I bet.
And it was,
yeah, we
but,
both did.
but
We both
mostly I'm
lost.
talking about your review of Superman 64 and Hello Kitty.
Ah, yeah. It keeps coming up.
Yeah.
There's like things
Yeah.
that I keep touching on, like
That
Legend
and Mass
Evert and
Effect
Final
3.
Fantasy 13.
Yeah, and the Mass Effect 3 permeated a few of them. It was so... Oh, man.
Dude, you know what?
I just
I
love to
I
watch
started
you
my
hate
whole
that
channel
game.
like the whole mission statement from the beginning is like, I want to talk. I don't want to be like the angry video game nerd or one of these hacks. I love David Yen, but I'm like, I want to talk about games that I like and good things that make me happy. But I can't do it. There's just too much. I can't ignore the landfills for the gardens. I just can't do it. The world is too horrible. It's too black and heinous. There's too much sick, evil, putrid shit that exists, like Final Fantasy 13 and bronies, and that's it. I guess that's enough.
That's what cracks me up is that like your videos are supposed like you always tell me that your videos were meant to like send a message of positivity, and then all of it's just like your natural.
Has
anger.
he actually said that?
I guess to
yeah,
Digi.
That's
if you aren't one of these people that he mentions, you know you're good. So
you are actually kind of uplifting in your own special way.
I know, right? I'm like a monolith of inspiration and creative genius. Just
depends on the
inspiring
video.
masses.
There are times where you just get depressed, and it's like the Hello Kitty video to me is one that's like uplifting, even as it is depressing.
Yeah.
But then there's like that whole period where you were doing all the ones with your fans, and like
that was great in its own way.
Like all the videos that came out, not only the ones about your fans, but the ones that came out between that were just like
I think you took down all those before we could see
screaming about your life and how shitty. There's there were two. There was a 10-minute video and a 16-minute video, and they were about like fuck computers. Have you seen those ones?
I saw the fuck pizza and fuck cars, and I think the fuck computers one.
Fuck pizza and fuck cars were both funny, but fuck computers was not.
Was depressing.
Fuck about how you couldn't render anything.
Jesse,
or something?
speaking of you getting calls from fans, because of that call I made into your Daring Don't review, someone heard in our Q&A that I had called into your show, and then went through all your videos, found that call, and then found me on Skype through that, and that is how I got my first ever Skype stalker. It's all thanks to you.
Isn't that crazy?
He was a nice guy, though. I think it was a guy.
None of them are nice guys.
It was a guy.
They're all scum.
I stopped adding people on Skype a few weeks ago. Like I've run out of like ability to process human beings. But now I'm gonna probably start adding people again, because any women who want to fuck me, I'm going to add on Skype.
Oh, you're gonna go.
That's why I have my Skype address out. Like I say, it's for my fans to get in contact with me. It's just for girls. I don't add guys ever. Guys try to add me, and I fucking ignore them because I don't like them. They're bad people. Mm-hmm. Even the girls are annoying and bad people. Mm-hmm. You know. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm almost at the point where I'm not even adding the girls anymore either, because it's like I even saw a guy commented the other day. He's like, oh yeah, I have Jesse Wood on Skype. You know, he used to talk to me, but now he doesn't. So I realize he's just an idiot, and I don't like his videos anymore.
That's true.
And doesn't he know that the joke is on him?
Well, I realized, I have this. I coined a term. I call it the law of the leech. It's this brain deficiency where people believe that people that they're fans of owe them anything, and it's completely fucking mental. Like, hey, why doesn't he talk to me anymore? The reason I don't talk to you anymore is because I don't fucking know you. You are a stranger. You can't fucking expect someone to fucking respond to all the thousands of fucking strangers who have nothing to say all day. Hi, what's up? Can we be friends? How's it going? Want to debate with me? No, I don't want to fucking debate with you. I don't want to fucking make small talk and chit-chat with somebody I don't fucking know. How would you even be mental enough to expect that from somebody? It's fucking crazy. I wouldn't expect that from my best friends. You don't fucking call up your best friend and go, what's up? I just wanted to talk about, like, stuff. Hi. God, and then like, why don't you talk to me?
I gotta tell you about my friend Michelle, who will constantly, she's been calling me for the last, like, 5 years.
Oh, fuck Michelle.
Like, I know, all right. Once, like, every 6 months. Michelle. And just, yeah, I mean, she's okay. No, she's my friend. But, she calls me every couple of months, and she'll just do that. She'll just, like, say hi. Like, she feels it's necessary to do that. But I thought this friendship was going on just fine until she made this annoying phone call. So she doesn't even know. She's shooting herself in the foot. So, Michelle, if you're listening to this,
stop calling me.
Knock that shit off. I'm done.
Stop calling me. Stop texting me. That's a real song, by the way. If anyone
I believe you.
I don't know. I know none of us have listened to the radio probably in like 5 years.
Oh, I listen to NPR every day.
I like.
Incidentally, I was at a show tonight.
Oh yeah, what was that?
I was at Chance the Rapper. And that was pretty fantastic. You ever listen to him?
No, I have not.
Check out Acid Rap, my favorite album of 2013 and second favorite album, period, pretty much. Just really up. The guy, you're gonna be. I don't know if you'll be turned off, but you'll definitely be like off-put by his voice because he raps like in a really high pitch.
Lil B or something.
Like he sounds like he just did like a shitload of weed and then like starts rapping, which is probably true.
It's not like it's not grating though, like a Lil Wayne. Like
no,
it's
it's not grating.
I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, I sent Jesse some songs and shit too.
Yeah, all right, I'll give it a listen.
Yeah,
oh,
but
you know that reminds me. Go on.
Well, yeah, just the appeal of Chance. It's just that it's like super uplifting. Like the album, like the first song is just called like "I'm Good," good ass intro, and it just starts off like "Even better than I was the last time, baby," and then like from there on, you're just fucking in a good mood.
I like that he's keeping it real.
Like, after I broke up with my girlfriend yesterday, like, I was all desperate and shit for, like, an hour, and I was crying and all this shit, and then, like, I went to go pick up food with my little brother, and I didn't want to, like, tell him right away that I just, broken up and all that shit, and, you know, we were getting hyped for the Chance show tonight, so he puts on Chance the Rapper, and, like, we're driving, and I'm just, like, in a great mood. Like, even though I'm, like, depressed inside and broken, like, I'm singing along and just having fun, because you can't be mad listening to him. It's just too uplifting.
Well, that sounds like something worth doing.
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of things that make you really fucking angry, my buddy John came up to see Jeff Magnum from Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yeah. It's not Magnum actually. It's Mangum.
It's Mangum. Yeah,
I've made that mistake for like a year.
Yeah, it's got a fucked up name. But so he drove up, and I live around Providence, and that's where the show was. So he drives up, and on the day he gets here, there's a huge ass fucking snowstorm. So, like, his show gets canceled. No, it gets delayed 2 weeks, and then it gets canceled the next day. The moral of the story is I didn't get to see him, so don't ever get excited about good things that could happen to you. And I didn't get a refund, by the way. Did not get a refund.
What did your friend John have to do with that story?
Right.
He got his. He had to drive like 5 hours from New Jersey to come see the show that got canceled.
I mean,
and we didn't get a refund. Why would you not refund his money?
Yeah. Oh, no argument here.
I'm
I think
upset.
most shows have a no refund policy, though.
Well, it's fucked up.
It is pretty.
I don't go to a lot of shows, but I was really excited for that one.
Know what I did today? I got fillings.
I haven't been to a dentist in 15 years.
It was the first time. It was the first time I ever had to do such a thing in many, many years, and it was not as bad as I remembered it being. So
yeah,
take heart.
Well, you know what? It's not just because, like, as a kid, obviously it was more terrifying, but also the technology's just better.
It might be.
Because it used to take.
Gotta inject it.
Because I over the course of the last couple years, I got like 15 fillings, and I had like 10 when I was a little kid. When I was a kid, it used to take like 45 minutes, and now it takes like 15. Like, I can walk in there, 30-minute dentist appointment, and they fill like 3 of my fucking teeth,
It's
so...
got that like purple laser
that's
gun
my favorite
that like
part.
insta
That's
heals
my favorite
you.
part is the purple light, and you reflects up onto their rubber gloved hands, and it's all purple and pretty, and it's got that weird like orange.
And I don't know what
shield.
it is.
Yeah.
Like, I assume it's just like hardening the shit on there or something, but I've always been confused about it.
Some like ultraviolet, extra super power energy beams.
And they're not silver anymore. Like, all my silver fillings are from when I was a kid, and then now they're all like tooth colored and just look normal.
In like 1,000 years, they're gonna, dig you up from your tomb, from your great glorious stone mausoleum, and be like, look at this fucker. Look at these ancient ass metal fillings he had. What a primitive piece of shit.
What a goddamn
the barbarian.
Like, the worst thing about this is that, like, I didn't brush my teeth from... Let's put it this way. I don't brush my teeth. I had stopped around when I was, like, 13, and then just, like, for years... This is so retarded, because when I was a fucking teenager, I was like, well, you see, this is legitimately something that I kind of believed. I would explain that, like, you know how if you walk a lot, your feet get, callous and it makes them stronger?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was basically like, if I don't brush my teeth, it means they'll get stronger.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like Baby Cake's raps. Everybody says what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but I've seen the newly killed and that just couldn't be more wronger. And they say that the ladies only like the giant dongers, so the gravy I pass to them. Remember that.
In any case, I didn't brush my teeth for a long time, got a shitload of cavities, didn't go to the dentist for like 10 years, and then in my like early 20s, I start going to the dentist, like, you know, and of course they have to schedule me like a million appointments because I have to fill in all these fucking teeth. And I kept going like, you know, as soon as I get all these fillings, I'm gonna start taking better care of my teeth. I'm gonna start brushing my teeth because obviously it's something that I like. People have made fun of me of like forever. You know, people who are like older than me who are like, "What the fuck are you doing, you stupid kid?" You know, and I've always felt bad. But the reason I don't do it is because I don't have a routine. You know, like I don't have any time of day that it makes sense to brush my teeth, But I drink like 7 cans of Mountain Dew a day, so it's like necessary.
God. You know,
but like
I was watching Game Grumps.
Gotta deal with
Game Grumps recently, and Aaron said that he likes going to the dentist now because one day he just started flossing, and now when he goes to the dentist, they're like, "Do you floss?" And he's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Cool." And that made me want to floss more than any dentist recommendation had ever done for me. It was the Ego Raptor seal of approval that made me want to floss.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I was doing research. Well, not doing research, but I found out recently that like you're not supposed to brush after eating. You're supposed to brush before eating, because I guess like if you brush after eating, then it like moves the acids around your teeth and like makes it worse somehow. But like brushing your teeth is really like a massage for your gums, and it's like really about the gums or whatever. In any case, I still don't brush my teeth. I've like shamed my family. I mean, they bought me like. For Christmas, I literally got like a powered toothbrush and a My Little Pony toothbrush holder. Where like
Twilight, of course, that'll get him to brush his teeth. We just gotta slap Rainbow Dash on there. Problem solved.
Right, like really? Twilight hugs my toothbrush and shit, and then like I got the, you know, I got some toothpaste and all that. I got all this for Christmas.
Oh my God.
And like the first day of the year, I was like, all right, my only New Year's resolution I set for myself for the entire year. Take care of my teeth. I brushed my teeth on January 1st and maybe twice since then.
Oh man, that's.
I didn't even bother while I was at my girlfriend's house. That's probably why she broke up with me.
I love that they got you. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. Yeah, blame the teeth. That you can renew.
She's almost as bad as I am. So there's no like she's also bad about.
I can envision the two like filthy mouths just like breeding between the
funny
two
thing
of them.
Is
the germs.
that our mouths always taste good because we eat so much sugar. Like,
that's not.
I drink Mountain Dew all the time, so my mouth tastes like Mountain Dew. So she
as long as they like Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And the taste of gingivitis. I should have leaned into the mic to do that.
I went to the store
gingivitis
yesterday at like 3 in the morning, and I bought like 10 boxes of My Little Pony and Hello Kitty gummy snacks. And I spent like $30 on it, and I don't even remember why I went to the store. I just like wanted to, like I hadn't been outside the house in like a week, and I'm just like I want to feel air, so I like went outside and I went to the store and I spent fucking $30 on.
I love gummies. I love gummy anything. I think they're my favorite food.
They were engineered by the Zionists to be delicious, so of course they're delicious.
I know. So are lots of other things.
In particular.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
gummies are objectively
I burned
the best.
out on gummy bears because in my teen years, I would just buy a bag of gummy bears and eat them all. And
I did that in college a little bit.
That makes you feel like you're gonna die. Like,
yeah, it's gross. That's no good.
I do that all the time. Or I used to. I haven't done it recently.
When I was like 16, I used to drink sweetened condensed milk.
Oh, Jesus. Nice.
Which is just like sugar paste.
Yeah.
So I just like take a spoon and just eat it by spoonful.
Oh no.
And everyone told me I was gonna have diabetes by the time I was 21, and I was like shocked when I didn't.
Turn 21. Oh, look at that. Who's laughing now?
Yeah. Get diabetes at 23. Well, I still proved you all wrong.
I can't believe I don't have it yet. I mean, just this morning I went into fucking shock. Like I get these bad leg cramps sometimes, and from what I've read, it's always either from too much caffeine or like yesterday. I'm pretty sure it's because I smoked like 3 cigarettes in the time I was awake, just because I was emotional and shit, and I'm not used to that. And I read online, oh yeah, if you smoked too much, then you can like have a fucking nicotine panic attack. So that happened, and yeah, it was awful. Yesterday was just the worst.
You guys gotta take better care of yourselves. You're all gonna die. I'm the only one who cares about himself.
Me and Jesse
are
gonna start working out this summer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
He's making a competition out of it because that's the only way that I can be motivated to do anything.
Like, my little brother works out, and he's been kind of, like, falling off the wagon because he's got too much school. So like this, he was like, I need to work out during the summer. Like I need to get my shit back together. And I was like, all right, I want to do it too. Like drag me out with you and let's do this. And then I told Jesse that, and I told him that if he doesn't do it, I'm going to send him pictures of my biceps every single day, and he can watch them slowly sculpt.
So then I put on my alpha pants, and I'm like, you fucking, I'm the toughest motherfucker there is. I can lift more than you, faggot.
I feel like Gibbon's asleep, by the way.
No, I'm here.
Gibbon. I'm right here, guys.
Yeah, that's me.
That's good at Gibbon. That was a nice British accent.
Yeah.
How about you, Gibbon? You gonna hit the gym, do the deadlifts and such?
I don't know.
No?
I'm curious, Gibbon, on how much you weigh, because you look like you weigh maybe 90 pounds.
I want to guess. I'm gonna say 115.
I have no fucking idea. I haven't weighed myself in years.
How tall are you?
I haven't measured myself in years.
Okay, relative to the people around you, do you find yourself taller, shorter, or average?
Gibbon.
Well,
Gibbon, I always imagined
sort
you,
of-
before I ever saw you, I imagined you as like a big Nordic guy. I don't know why. I thought you'd be
but I
blonde.
have such a squeaky voice.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
keep trying to think of things to say in this topic, like a dentist. Oh, I have a story for the dentist. I went to one. That's it. I was like, oh.
That's a great story. I like
It's
it.
not a. I'm not a good.
And on the way
at
home
it.
from the dentist, I found out that George W. Bush has taken up painting portraits of world leaders. How about that shit?
Did he paint one of himself?
No, not that I know of.
Wait,
See,
is that
you could
really
just
Yeah.
start conversations like that. So how would you do it?
Because I took a drive.
Because he's got the
I took a
tism.
drive and I listened to the radio.
No, I mean like, how you just say, hey, here's a new topic we should all talk about, and then you start talking about it, and then I'm like, oh.
You
I
see,
wanted
Ben
to
has
say
this
something
great
to
gift.
the previous.
You're gonna.
Ben has this great
Shut
gift
up,
where he
Nate,
doesn't
you're
care
a
about the
fucking
social.
Black square. You don't even have a profile
Yeah. I have. There's something for like
I know.
someone who doesn't quite get social cues. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, that's what Ben's got. Ben's got. It's really amazing.
What is it exactly?
It's autism.
Oh.
It's autism.
He's
got the
trying
tism.
to obliquely hint that I am autistic.
Oh yes. But the cat's out of the bag, as it
Whole
were.
wide world is autistic, baby. The whole wide world is insane.
You know what's incredible? Some people actually, thanks for the serenade. Some people actually thought that we were legit sponsored by Autism Speaks.
I know, when
In
we
that
did that
one-
sponsored by
in that
Autism
one
Speaks,
video.
we got so many comments like, what do you know? They're actually sponsored by
Not
Autism
so many,
Speaks.
but we got
And then,
some.
Dude, one person was like, hey guys, I see you're sponsored by Autism Speaks, but I want to let you know, actually only a fraction of that money actually
They're
goes
like,
to
"They're
helping
not a good
autistic
charity.
people.
Go
You
help
should
out
use
this other
some of these
autism
accredited
charity
ones. I know, it's just, I mean, that's nice of them, but they're missing the point.
I don't believe in charity. They're all scams. It all just goes to some fucking bigwig. If you want to help out, just fucking give $1 to a bum or something, you know?
I just noticed that Gibbon and Ben's like avatars look like really like they're making the same face.
Oh yeah.
Ben's got that Moe girl,
It's
right?
And Ben, where's yours from?
I have no idea.
He asked me that the first day he put it on, and I was like,
I don't
know,
even
'cause I'm the
remember where I
anime man.
found it.
Wait, Nate, you're the anime man? I thought Ben was
I know.
the anime man.
Nope, it's me. I
No,
am the
we're
anime
both,
man.
We're
I'm the
both
anime
anime.
man.
We're both
I know all
anime
the
men,
anime.
But if we had to pick
Like
one,
Ben, you don't know
if we
shit.
had to pick one, it would be Nate.
Sailor Moon.
Huh.
Oh, it's me.
I
Don't
guess
let
I just
Ben
assumed
fool
the
you. He's a
opposite
scrub.
because I've had exactly like one long conversation with each of you, and with Ben
Yeah.
it was all about anime, and with Nate it was all about music.
Yeah.
So like immediately I sanctioned that as like what you guys are about in my head, because I think I've mentioned this before on this podcast series. Not that anyone fucking remembers the old ones, but like for me, every person I talk
listen to 'em all.
that I continue to talk to, it's because there's like a very specific subject that I come to them for. Like me and Skywatcher, you know, we do those music recommendation rallies, and that's like that is almost exclusively what he and I talk about. Is like we just send each other music all day and talk
I guess
about music.
I'm challenging the paradigm, because Ben is basically my lesser in every way, including in anime appreciation.
I don't even know the
Alas,
difference
it's
between
true. I bring nothing to the table.
you two. I don't even know which one of you is Bret Hart Shades and which one of you is Toilet Paper Head.
It doesn't matter.
Ben is
That's the
Phantom
real-
Horn, Nate is Keg
Oh,
Stand.
thank you.
I like
Right.
my names better.
Standard Kig and horny phantom. He'll fuck your mum, but she
Oh
won't
man,
feel
someone
anything.
someone did this great picture that was like a really shitty drawing of our guys, and then like Ben was called like Phantom Horn was labeled as Ghost Penis,
what?
and Keg Standard was labeled as Ideal Craig.
I have never seen that picture.
Just scroll through the Tumblr. It's there. It's like my favorite
I'll have
picture.
to check it out.
And the guy was like,
sounds pretty good.
It's really funny. It's really funny.
Incidentally, my ex-girlfriend, and that's the first time I've used that phrase, and it's just going to keep
overcoming
getting more
barriers.
depressing if I keep saying it. Anyway, she was a fan of you guys' show, and I do mean was. She doesn't watch anything Pony anymore at this point.
She
but
cut herself
I can't
off.
blame her.
She cut herself off from you.
No, but I think her loss of interest in Pony had to do with her loss of interest in me.
That makes
Fair
me
enough.
a little
But,
angry just to hear.
Damn it, Didge, you're costing us money on our fucking Patreon. By the way, everyone, join the T-Bat Patreon.
No,
We've got some great
join
reward
the
tiers,
Give
and
and
everybody...
Take Patreon. I'm clearly
No,
better.
listen to
Oh god,
Given.
we all have them,
Go
don't
join
we?
both.
We do. We're all
Go
in
join
direct
everyone's
competition.
Patreon.
Just give us all $1, except give me 2.
No, we need the 2.
Our
We need the
Patreon-
2 because we split it.
No,
Yeah,
you don't.
We need double what everyone
No,
else
you
makes.
Even be reasonable. Don't be greedy.
Yeah, you're still making more than us right now. Oh wait, no, he's not anymore.
Well,
Yeah, shut up.
Well, we have
Everybody, give
significant
me
drop
money.
off after the first one.
Give me your firstborn.
Yeah.
Give me
Anyways,
a blood sacrifice of a
What I was
virgin
what I was
goat.
getting at was
Yeah.
that my ex-girlfriend watches Two Best Brothers Bitch About Ponies,
Yep,
and
yep.
she loved, like, OC wise, she loved Phantom Horn. Like,
Everyone
she,
loves fucking Phantom.
She
Horn.
thought he was no. You don't understand. She wanted to fuck
Yeah.
Phantom
The-
Horn.
the-
She was
the
like,
pony
I would
or
have
the
sex
person?
with that pony. The
You
pony.
should see some of these.
She
shit
was
that
like,
we get
I would
on the
fuck that pony.
Tumblr.
And then, like, the Q&A video came out, and I told her, I was like, oh man, TVBBAP put out a Q&A, and they're both, like,
Yep,
ludicrously handsome guys, right, is what I told her.
Oh please.
And she
don't
sees the
flatter me.
video, and she was like, why is it that the pony I don't give a fuck about is the hot one?
Ah,
And
I know,
Phantom
right?
Horn has a hobo beard.
I do. I fucking
know.
do. You know, I can't
No,
argue.
she
that's
hates
something
beards,
really-
like, in general.
That's a really interesting point you bring up. I think that like the brony fandom, like Phantom Horn as like an emotionally disturbed pony who's got like deep psychological
honestly,
problems.
that's why I wanna do more
like,
of the
that's
Tumblr.
something that appeals to the brony fandom
That's
in
what
like
they
a
relate
huge
That's
to.
why I
They've
wanna
all
do
got
more.
I know.
I don't think it's
And
that.
show
I think
more.
it's just that Keg Standard has a mohawk and Kanye
And
glasses.
he's got that
Yeah, I
devil
mean,
may
he
he's
kind
an
of looks like a
asshole.
bro.
Yeah, he's
you know, I
like-
mean, that's the
he
idea.
is a bro.
Peg,
He is a
Peg
bro.
is the guy
yeah,
who beat the
yeah.
bronies up in high school. No, I can't wait
Yeah,
to do
like,
more
he's like
of
the
the
cool
Tumblr
kid.
because as they
But-
show more of like what a fucking dingus Phantom is, I think people are just going to relate to him more
Yeah.
and more. I'm super
I
stoked.
used to be ludicrously handsome back when I was young.
No, you didn't.
Back before this
No, you
curse.
didn't.
It's
This curse of
still-
what?
To this day, every time that we all look at it, I'm sure this has happened to all of you. You look at Jesse's avatar on Skype, and you have like a mental disconnect because you're thinking, oh, that's Jesse, and then you see his video, and you're like, oh, he got fat, and like he just hasn't updated his Skype picture in like a year and a
I
half.
guess a little bit.
You know what?
I just haven't known Jesse that long. I just got into his like
Oh god,
his old
you know,
videos
I
like
used to
2
think,
months ago.
I used to
or
think
something.
that I was fat, but like really, I just had like body dysmorphia, and I was actually like super handsome. And now that I'm really
yeah,
fat,
yeah.
I realize that I squandered all my prettiness when I still
Right.
had it.
Dude, Jesse's
thing is,
early
no matter
videos,
how
he's
handsome you are,
like
you have that.
Oh,
scrawny.
look at
he's
me.
like
I'm
not
Jesse
quite
Wood.
given,
I have
but
body dysmorphia. Why don't you go post on Tumblr about it?
What are you fucking talking
Faggot.
about? Body dysmorphia is cool, okay?
Oh,
it means
my mistake.
everything
You can't
that
post
I
cool
have
things
is
on Tumblr.
automatically cool. If I showed up
right,
today with a fucking documented paper that says, "Hey guys, turns out I'm mentally retarded," well then that would be the cool thing,
Oh, damn it.
wouldn't it?
If only you'd gotten more vaccinations as a baby, then autism would be cool.
Oh man.
God.
you
you know
fucking
it's not
talking about?
actually tied though, right?
Huh?
The guy who suggested
I know,
that, like,
I know it's bullshit. I know
it's a Chris
bullshit.
Chan thing, sort of.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
just-
got to get into the Sonichu. I'm
Hey.
missing out.
First of all, I didn't get vaccinations, and that's why polio is cool.
Oh God, do you have polio?
I'd laugh anyway.
May or may not. That's for those close to me to find out the hard way.
I don't put myself in this box of having or not having polio.
Yeah, exactly.
It's, you know, you just gotta.
I don't know why that's
I
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
identify as someone without polio.
Yeah.
You know what?
No, but that's the logical next step to me. And
I know.
I think it's funny when people draw lines in the sand like that. You
Yeah.
know, like everyone who's like, oh, why can't you accept that some people identify as a woman? And I'm like, I do, but I also would have, like, is it then a stretch to say that some people identify as a murderer? Like, like, where do I draw the line about what you're allowed to identify as?
In college, I was all about trolling the other kin. He has no other...
Incidentally, though, that is where I draw the line. I'm okay with all of it. If you think you're something else, that's perfectly fine with me. But if you're like, I identify as a murderer, I'm like, oh, that's nice, but we just can't accept that in our culture. Sorry.
Well, then shouldn't you identify as someone who should be in jail?
Yeah, we need to see the chips on the table if you want to be a murderer.
Your murderer identity is being in jail?
Yeah, I guess so. If you're like role-playing it hardcore or something.
You're not role-playing it hard enough if you need to just say
I don't identify as nothing. I'm unquantifiable. Okay?
That's the way to do it, man.
I'm a snowflake, okay? Everybody thinks they're a snowflake, but some of us actually are. I'm fucking... You look with me with a microscope, you see the spectrals and all the crystallized fucking prettiness.
Are you a crystal?
What is that coin? Someone play with a coin?
No, that's me playing with screws.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got one loose.
Shit.
You bitch.
Well, that's a good one.
You know what? I've actually got...
Like,
I'm
sorry.
I'm so fat that it's actually fun. Like, I like it now.
You can, like, play your stomach like a bongo.
Well, like, I'm not even, like...
That's fun.
Like, I was just, like, sitting on my couch today. Like, just, like, half naked. Just, like, sitting there, like, just basking in my own fatness.
Yeah.
Just, like, sweating profusely, smelling horrible, and just like it's finally gotten to the point where like everything's like in proportion, so it doesn't even look bad anymore. Like I'm just a fucking fat guy now. It's cool. Like I'm just sitting there, like a fucking chieftain with like my newly minted man breasts and my strong gut. It's a strong gut. And I'm just like sitting there, just like I own the world. Like
when you
I
fall
can get into
into
this fat
this,
thing.
If I lose weight, like, well, I hope I will. You know, I'm probably gonna lose my man boobs, and I'm gonna be, glad that I don't have man boobs, but I'm gonna miss, the masturbation with the man boobs, because they're comfortable.
Dude, no. What you do is you grab your butt cheek and you pretend it's a boob.
I don't.
Nobody else plays with their own boobs. Okay. Whatever.
I can do that thing where you make your pecs move individually.
Oh fuck
That's the thing I can do.
Is that? Is it fun?
It is absolutely
anyone
fun. Yeah.
can do it. It's just you can't see it.
Yeah.
On mere mortals.
When you that's the other thing. Like I would go for pecs just because that also is like man boobs. Like I've touched my friend's pecs and I'm like, oh, that's shapely. I could grope that. That's something you could play with just as much. It would make me feel gayer than playing with my man boobs. But I'm fucking myself anyway. So
exactly.
It's still gay.
What
you want to do right now is just
like on top of my fat. There's like a layer under
vile
them.
enough. And are wretched enough, it can become almost comforting in a way. It can
It
become
is like I'm sitting there like just like surrounded by all my garbage and just like just hanging out and just like I'm the fucking king right now. I'm fat. I'm large and in charge.
I know. You're the feel.
It's cool.
Yeah, Ben knows. Ben's extremely fat.
I think before there's a period of time I badly right now. What I want to do to cope with my relationship is, of course, I want to I want to try to I think everyone does this. Like, you have a bad breakup, and then you just want to, get,
break your record for masturbation?
Well, that, too. But you want to, well, fuck. There's no way I can break... I've masturbated more when I was with her. We were fucking webcam dating. I mean, I
know what you mean, man.
But anyway...
Long-distance relationships, bro. Long-distance
Right, exactly. It's mostly masturbation. I've actually...
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is you try to self-improve, to come back. 500
so you
Days
can come
of
back
Summer,
to her and show her how much better you are. Oh, that's my favorite movie.
Right, because that's what he does, right? He breaks up with her, and then he does all this self-improvement, finds a even better girlfriend and all that shit.
Movie?
Autumn.
500
Days of Summer, you big nigger.
I don't
fucking best movie ever.
Seen it.
It's I tell you to watch it several times.
It's a classic indie every guy I've ever known who's been through heartbreak adores that movie because it reminds them of.
That's why I love it, Digi.
Sounds fucking gay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gay. Alright.
It's very gay.
So
you hate
like
it because it's Zooey Deschanel and.
I don't like that very much.
Look. Oh, but she's painted in such a negative way for the most part, so you'll like it.
Let me guess. The soundtrack is 90% ukulele.
No, it's not a quirky movie.
I don't think she had a hand
It kind
in
of is almost like It's like the anti-Yes Man almost, like where that movie was like the shitty gay version, and this is like the real like hard-hitting version where you're like you're thinking it's all like quirky whirlwind romance, but then it just gets completely depressing for the entire second half of the movie.
Jesse, have you seen Don John?
No. Is that the one with that guy
you should.
from
It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's the same actor. He's the same main character from 500 Days of Summer. He's amazing, and like 500 Days of Summer is all about him, and Zoe is like important, but it's not really about her. So like he's the greatest, and he totally carries the movie. So don't even worry about Zoe, because it's all about fucking Joseph.
Nate, I know you have. Did you? Have you seen Brick? Yeah. Have you guys seen Brick? Mm-hmm. No? Oh, shit.
Oh, you should. You'd love it.
It's the fucking greatest. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's all about these high schoolers in this thing, and but they're dealing with some hardcore drug-ass shit, and they talk in this...
It's a film noir.
It's a film, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Basically. I've seen 5 minutes of it on TV once. I remember thinking, what the fuck? It's like a film noir set in high school. What's going on here?
It's real good.
Yeah, I should check it out. I'm one of those people who I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I don't really know why. Like, I really like him, but I haven't really seen a lot of his films.
I know why I like him, and that is Brick.
That is Brick.
It's Brick. It's Brick, that movie.
Yeah, well, I'll check it out. I was a huge fan of Inception, but I mean, he barely is in that shit, so...
I know, I loved him in that, too, and that was kind of when he, came back on my radar, and then I watched 500 Days of Summer, and then I saw Don John, and I don't know, there's other stuff happening there.
Didn't care for Looper too much.
Looper's fucking sucked.
Funny thing is,
the worst.
Have any of you seen The Wind Rises?
No, I have not seen that yet.
Not yet.
It's a fantastic movie. You should definitely go see it.
I wanted to watch it from your review, but I never got around to it.
The funny thing is that the main character, and I didn't bring this up in my review because I wanted to see the Japanese version first, but
don't spoil me, goddammit.
No, not gonna spoil.
Okay.
The lead character is voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt in the English version. And I didn't know that watching the movie until the end credits, right? And the funny thing is, the whole time, his performance is so weird. Like, it's kind of stilted and awkward. And I was like, the whole movie, I was like, who the fuck is this actor? Like, who did they get to play this guy? And I see Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I was confused. And then I looked it up. And in the original Japanese, the guy is voiced by Hideaki Anno, which is the director of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I was going to be like, I know that name. What the fuck?
The director. Whoa. He's not... The only voice acting role he's ever done was the cat from FLCL.
Dude, he's like the Kojima of the anime world.
Right. He is. And for some reason, he's the main character in The Wind Rises. And everyone says his performance is, weird and stilted. So I was like, is Joseph Gordon-Levitt purposely trying to sound like Hideaki Anno's performance?
He'd have to be a serious weeaboo to get that shit right.
It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I mean, I could totally see
he probably is.
It,
Yeah. He's like the Seth Green or something, a big anime fan.
No idea what I'm guessing. Are talking about anymore.
Neither do I.
Just jump in, man. Change the subject. We clearly are...
Kill La Kill. I watched the first episode and I like it.
Let's talk about Kill La Kill. That episode...
I have not seen the last few episodes.
I haven't seen any of the episodes.
What?
But
Drowning in Oh, you haven't seen any.
I've watched the first episode. And I really like it.
The funny thing is that I'm actually watching that right now. I'm 9 episodes in, I think. And that's...
I'm the farthest in. I win.
Did you finish it?
Okay, let me just say, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is the best anime ever made. And this is the sequel, and there's just no way it could ever have matched up. Well, it's not like Gunbuster to Diebuster to and then Gurren Lagann's basically the spiritual sequel. It's basically a spiritual sequel, if you ask me.
In a way, my mentor, I was talking to him about
Ghost Lightning?
Yeah, Ghost Lightning.
That fucking
Because he loved Gurren Lagann, and he told me, he was like, Kill La Kill is the best fucking thing ever, right?
Please.
And mind you, he's a huge dork. He'll say, he likes to exaggerate, and I know what he means, but he was like, Kill La Kill is fucking amazing. And he said, Gurren Lagann appeals to me more directly, but I think Kill La Kill is the better show altogether, is how he put it.
I will withhold my judgment until I've seen the end.
I mean, here's the thing, though, Nate. When was the last time you saw Gurren Lagann?
I watched it through at least twice.
I know that it's great, even though it's been 5 years.
Okay,
I know.
No, rewatch it. Because the thing is, Gurren Lagann...
I will rewatch it.
It's a great show, but it's so inconsistent, in its quality. There's...
Episode 4 doesn't count. You just can't count episode 4.
No,
because that's a throwaway.
Okay, I don't have a problem with episode 4, but, the whole series just doesn't have the same, Because to me, what's great about Kill La Kill is the timing of everything is perfect. Like
Oh
every
no,
episode.
it's so bad all
What?
the time. They drag things out for so long. It's no,
Let's not say crazy things now.
I think,
okay, it's not like that
to me,
bad. But if you ask
when
me,
I
the
watch
pacing
Kill la
is
Kill,
awful.
the whole appeal to me is that every moment just feels really well thought out. Like, because it'll be the show constantly switches between like shitty animation and amazing. And,
which is really cool.
And
I like
it does
that
it
about
like
yeah.
by this like moment to moment. Okay, this moment he's gonna fly across the screen, so we're just gonna have like a still image of him flying across the screen.
Oh, you're talking about
But-
fucking monkey?
but
I
then
like
he's gonna,
Digimon. I like Pokemon. I like Dragon Ball
Okay.
Z. I like
this is
Sailor
the
Moon.
Horsecast.
I like
Let's,
Bleach. I like.
You don't like Bleach.
Lamau.
Nobody likes Bleach.
I like. I don't
like
like
Bleach.
Bleach
I like the
anymore.
manga.
But I like.
Does anybody like One Piece?
One Piece.
Woo!
Yes, let's talk
Yayo,
about One Piece.
yayo,
Okay,
dreaming.
Gibbon, you asked on our Tumblr.
I like Sailor Moon. I like Pokemon.
God
I
damn
like,
it!
One Piece is the best. Everyone knows it.
Come on, did you read
Everyone
One
knows
Piece
it.
at all, Jesse?
What?
Have you seen any? One Piece, One Piece.
I had a friend who was into it. and made me
Yayo,
watch a little bit
yayo.
of it.
No, it's
Eh.
great.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you-
no.
you gotta get-
Fuck
you gotta
that.
get,
If
like,
I want to watch pirates, I'm gonna watch Black Lagoon because I want to see pirates actually kicking ass and not sitting around playing with themselves and fucking stretching
Look,
their
just
dicks
'cause
out
they're
10
not-
feet to fucking
just
wrap around their mother's cock.
I'm surprised
Just
you've
because
seen
they
Black
don't
Lagoon,
conform
Jesse.
to
That
your
is a good
binary
show.
of pirates
Black Lagoon's amazing.
doesn't make it any
Black
worse.
Lagoon is what broke me to Grimdark. Like,
Oh yeah, I never saw that.
for a long
I've meant
time,
to.
I was like growing up, I didn't watch anything violent at all. Like, my parents kind of just sheltered me and my brother from violent movies, and we were not
Yeah.
curious. We were just like, oh, it's a movie where people die. I don't want to fucking see it, So, like, then in my teen years, I got into anime, and, like, I loved violence then. It was just, like, all blood, but I didn't like dark stuff. Like, I liked Rurouni Kenshin, where there was, like, all this blood and
Yeah.
shit, but everyone's happy. But, like, Black Lagoon, I watched in like 2008, and it was the first time I saw like really fucked up shit in terms of like the concepts, like the arc where it's the two kids and they're like former snuff film like actors or something, and like they'd both had their genitalia like cut off or some shit. It was fucking freaked
Wait,
up, like
is
just
this-
weird, crazy shit.
an
Black
anime,
Lagoon.
Yeah, it's an anime.
Oh, what a pleb! Doesn't even know what Black
But
Lagoon
it's
is.
not
Lamau.
sometimes,
Oh, wait! I gotta add to my anime cred. I just started watching Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Oh, nice.
So, yep, I'm
That's-
about like 3 episodes
That's
in.
the most patrician anime ever.
Exactly,
Just so you know.
that's
The
why I'm
only
watching
reason
it. I
he
know,
knows
I
what
know.
it is.
Man, I'm on A every day. I know
What the
this shit.
fuck is Legend of Galactic
I don't
Heroes?
know.
Some-
It's this old ass anime
It is-
about like space battles.
It
and
is
politics.
the single most like if you
Yeah.
have that on your favorites list, it kind of just makes
You
you a
are-
better person. Like
On A, it does.
it's like
yeah.
it's the Wire of anime, basically.
Oh my god,
Oh,
fuck this
God.
anime elitism otaku horseshit. I peed my
I know,
pants
isn't
in
it
a locker.
retarded? Yeah.
It's just like in one of my Japanese animes, Dave. Let me tell. Okay, you know what? I tried watching the what's it called? The Titan, the big giants ones.
Attack on
Attack on
Titan.
Titan.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan.
I couldn't make it past the first
That's 'cause-
episode because it didn't. It was fucking subbed. I hate that shit. I hate
Oh.
fucking subtitles. Everything should be dubbed immediately by fucking
Well, you're
have
clearly
not-
by a
fool.
fucking by a cast of 12 Steve Blums
I
and
have-
fucking
Wait, everything is dubbed by a cast of
I know,
12.
it is.
12
Steve
Steve
Blums. What are you
Blums
talking
and one
about?
Johnny Young
He's
Bosch.
gonna play every
Jesse,
Titan in
did
the
you
dub.
not find the setting of Attack on Titan to be immediately interesting? I think it is fucking
What
brilliant.
is it? It's a big stone city full of dead people or something.
The design
Yeah,
of the
who the
Titans
fuck
is
are these
so fucking
Titans?
great, and they're so mysterious, okay? And they're so
They're
fucking,
just big naked
they're
guys.
So loathsome.
I thought Titan was fucking
Yeah, but why?
boring.
But whence?
Ah, okay, I'm only like 7 or 8 episodes in, but so far I think it's fucking
Pleb.
rad.
I watched 5 and I couldn't take anymore. Like
The first 3 episodes, I think, are like, in my opinion, they're like super interesting. And I mean, the anime turns to shit because it gets boring. But the manga has been consistently interesting, even though now it's all about like humans fighting humans. And who
I
cares about that?
probably
There's
should
Titans to
switch to
fight.
the manga, but I kind of am like required to keep watching the anime because
Yeah.
I've been watching it with my
Yeah.
friend Lethal
It's only,
Aurora
like,
Mage.
26
Perhaps you
episodes,
YouTubers know of her.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it when they just fucking get like lost in their own bullshit and the series goes off in some crazy direction. Like when I was
Yeah, it's true.
Like when I was a kid, Bleach came out when I was in high school, and I was like, "Oh,
man,
man, this
that's the
show's
worst.
stylish and cool." There's fucking they gotta fight like these ghost monsters, and there's like this thing about his mother. When
Yeah.
are we gonna find out about that? The answer is never. By the way, you never
Oh,
find out
we
about
just
anything.
did, man. This arc,
Nate,
we found
why
out.
do you
Oh wow,
still-
it's only been 12 fucking
Why do you
years.
still read
I hate
that shit?
Because I have like an extra 5 minutes every Wednesday. That's why.
You know what?
I made it this far. I gotta finish it.
You know what's an anime that's really cool, but then immediately
What?
turns really horrible in like the last 2 episodes?
Ava?
What?
Not who said that? I'll kill you.
I don't actually even
God, Ben
remember
said
Ava
that.
like at all.
It's
He's
great.
covering.
It's
Ava
really
has a
good.
great ending. I like the ending of both the movie and the
ending
show.
is good.
I like the show ending too.
Same here.
Well,
I
haven't seen it in a
the
million
show
years,
ending
but
like. Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel
yeah,
like
I
they
was like a
complement
kid when
each
I
other.
saw it, but that show ending, like, I saw it when I was 15, I think, and it was, or 16, and like that was at the point where I just started like learning about philosophy and like existentialism and shit. So like I saw that ending and it was like, oh my god, it's everything I've been learning about. It's like
that's where I want to go when I die. I want to go to the congratulations room and have all my friends fucking, and then I want to wake up on a beach with Tiffany Grant and she's passed out and I come in her fucking face and then we do something. I don't know what happens next, but fucking.
I think we can all relate to Shinji masturbating in front of unconscious
Comatose.
redheads.
I'm so fucked up.
You know.
That's the line I like. That's
She wasn't even in a coma. She was actually awake for that.
the way I describe myself at
Yep.
16 is I loved Evangelion because I was 16 and so fucked up. Just because that's what Shinji says. He says I'm so fucked up, and like that just was perfect to me. Like the best line possible.
Well, yeah, that's being 16 for you. I mean,
Right.
What, the like disgusting line at the very end of the movie? Or you mean Shinji's like, I'm so fucked
Right,
up.
yeah, he
Yeah,
he
that's
looks
a
at his
great line.
cum in his hand and he says I'm so
I
fucked
know.
up.
It's awesome. That was a great moment.
Yeah.
That's why I like the movie.
I like that line.
Got
I love
shit.
that whole fucking movie. You know
That's
what? You know what?
classic.
I'm gonna go like full nerd here and speculate on something because I don't get a
Alright.
chance to have these faggoty fucking conversations
Well,
ever.
now you do.
Yeah, but you know that last line in the show where she's like, "How disgusting," or like whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
everyone's like, "Oh, I don't understand what it means. Does that mean that like she thinks Shinji's disgusting or she's mad at him for jacking off on her?" And it's like, no, I figured it out because I understand everything because I'm a genius. I fucking
Enlighten me.
Asuka is a narcissist. She's all about
True.
being the center of attention. She wants to stand out. Shinji or Rei or whoever set it off put her in the goo and she was like a hive mind. A person like Asuka would not want to be in a hive mind ever. She thought that was disgusting.
That's a very interesting
Well, she's got the hedgehog's dilemma just like Shinji does, is the thing.
point. Right. And I do know that when that line was written, like, because that line was not in the script, the how disgusting line. Hideaki Anno,
It was a weird interpretation.
yeah,
Yeah,
he told her, like, imagine someone masturbating over
Oh,
you and,
yeah,
did he?
that's
Lol.
cool.
and react. But that still is a good reason
Yeah,
for
that's
her
how
to
I
be
always viewed it.
disgusted.
Like,
but
like if I were like in a goo with like a hive mind, like that'd be cool. But after a while, I'd be like, what's the fucking point? This sucks. I want to be
Right.
me.
Yeah.
I'm better than these.
Well,
people.
that's the thing. They thought it was a step forward in evolution. That's how like it was marketed by the fucking Illuminati or whatever. But actually, it was a fucking D
The
step
nerve.
to the fucking primordial ooze.
Oh
yeah, the
man,
nerve guys.
Hideaki Anno. He tried to
So,
warn
yeah,
us
you're
about
right. I
the
agree with you.
Zionists, but no one listened.
I know. I know. And it's funny how like Anno says like he didn't intend like I know any of the symbolism.
Right.
None of it was intended to mean anything.
Yeah, it's just supposed to look
I don't know
cool,
about
right?
like this.
I think
Yeah,
have,
like
have
the
you guys
crosses
heard
and
my
stuff.
if you've heard my Evangelion analysis videos on
I have not heard you talk about Ava, so I guess
I've
not.
got 2 videos on the After Dark channel that are me and this dude Idelia. We're analyzing, like, basically we do every 2 episodes. I only released up through episode 4, but like we recorded up through 12. And I
yeah.
just haven't released them yet because it's a pain in the ass to edit them, and we stopped watching it. I don't know what happened with him, but I haven't heard from him in a while. Anyway, like, basically, because I know a lot about anime history and shit, and what I
Yeah.
saw the symbolism as is just, like, basically a reference to Devilman. The, the Go Nagai
I know the
manga.
one.
Because Devilman was all about, like, Christianity, and, like, all the plot lines were about that, but it has nothing to
didn't
do
really
with,
matter.
like, real
Yeah,
Christianity. It's just, like, cool...
Yeah.
You know, Satan and God fighting
It
and
just
shit,
adopts
but like
is
the
cool.
visual elements of the aesthetic.
right,
and
and
whatever.
like the way the Evangelion looks in Berserk mode is very similar to Devilman. Like they'll like the way they do
really?
the shading, where he's got like the one eye glinting out of the shadows and shit like that, is
Yeah.
how Devilman usually looked. So I think it's more of an anime history thing than it is a like Christianity symbolism, and that's something that a lot of
Man,
Westerners.
I believe
'cause,
it.
You know, he even said it was the Western people, like the Western audience, who appropriated it as, oh, it's all this religious meaning, and he's like, no, we don't really think of it that way
Well,
over here.
you got angels shooting crosses around. It's not
Right.
really. You can't blame them for
the
making
cross
the connection.
represents Jesus.
Yeah.
Man,
good one, Ano.
I missed when anime was fucking cool, man. Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, because like if you watch like 90s era, 80s to 90s era anime, there's like a whole different like feeling to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's
like Trigun. You watched Trigun
Yeah.
anytime recently?
That was good.
I love that fucking shit.
And I really
that
think
show's
you know
so
what?
good.
And the more I think about it in my old age, the more I think Bleach is what killed it. I think that was the final nail in the coffin
Oh yeah.
for anime.
Really DBZ initiated the beginning of the end. I blame DBZ for
but
like
at least
the
DBZ
current,
was awesome.
You guys are. This conversation is more misguided than I can possibly have words for. So.
Oh please.
Oh, let the
What?
otaku
Correct us,
explain,
DG,
everybody.
please.
Come on.
You know, let's.
Get it all off
You know
your
what
chest.
amazes me? Before I even knew what Japan was. Before I was into Pokemon or like Dragon Ball Z or anything, I was into Power Rangers, which I was like so blown away to discover is a fucking Japanese dub, just like I grew up to love.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Back
I
in
want to
the
hear
day.
Digi school us on some next level shit.
Oh, I was just gonna say because like Dragon Ball Z did have a big effect on like shonen manga, you know, like the long running shows because
Yeah, well that's what I meant.
right, but that doesn't affect like most anime that gets made.
Well,
you
like
know.
the
Okay.
Moe movement is obviously a
But
separate
like
thing.
in terms
Right,
of
and the
American,
Moe movement is
American
almost
interpretation of
like-
anime, Dragon Ball Z was like that's when you think of an anime in America, you fucking think of Dragon
Yeah,
Ball Z.
I will say that. I will say that Dragon Ball Z may have ruined our like what we brought over. Like we wouldn't have probably
Yeah.
ever had Bleach or Naruto if not for Dragon Ball Z.
I
And
should
we
clarify.
definitely
I just mean that like Bleach ruined it for me because it fucking gave me blue balls for 6 years and I gave up.
right.
Oh
We
yeah, no, for
definitely
sure,
wouldn't
for
have
sure.
Luffy without Goku, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
no
for
question.
true. That's for true.
Um.
Thank you, Oda Senpai.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball, like, the reason I can't watch Dragon Ball Z is because I know about how, like, the guy who wrote it just didn't want to, you know, like, he wrote Dragon Ball and he was like, alright, I'm done.
Yeah, he wanted Gohan to be the new main character or something, but
Well,
the editors wouldn't fucking let him or
yeah,
something.
it was like,
Old
he
Dragon
fucked up.
Ball.
he wanted
is
to,
really
he wanted to
cute,
just be done with
and
it.
I like it.
You know, and Dragon Ball is like,
yeah.
Dragon Ball is such a different, because Dragon Ball is like One Piece.
Yeah.
It's like they
Yeah,
adventure,
it's a
Yeah,
they
silly,
do all this
it's
shit.
like, you know,
exactly.
It's action.
That's what Oda
and,
loves
and
about
funny and cute in equal measures, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
they are
it's just
remarkably
fun.
different
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
What, Dragon Ball and One Piece? Or
Dragon Ball
No,
and
Dragon
Dragon
Ball
Ball
and
and Dragon
Dragon
Ball
Ball Z.
I like
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
I do, yeah.
Like Dragon
I
Ball was
love
just
it.
like a fun because it was supposed to be like Journey to the West, where it was just this
Yeah.
adventure and they do all this stuff, and then Dragon Ball Z was like, to
But-
me, it just reads like he didn't want to do it anymore, and they were making him, so he drew out all
That's
these
true.
But, you
fights
know,
because he's like, all right, well, I'm making
even-
paychecks, I'm making paychecks.
Even Dragon
you know?
Ball before
Yeah,
Z, even Dragon Ball starts to show like shonen syndrome, you know.
Like with the fight with Piccolo or
and
whatever?
the battle against the Red Ribbon Army starts to get a little drawn out. and
Well, you
then-
know what? The thing about
Well,
Dragon
I mean,
Ball
there's
Z,
got to be conflicts
Yeah.
in there.
I don't think that Dragon Ball Z ever would have been so cool had it not been for the English dub. Because, like,
Oh yeah,
because the fucking Japanese dub of Dragon Ball Z fucking sucks shit. I'm
dude,
just
have
gonna
you
come out
heard
and say
Goku's
that.
Japanese voice? Goku's voice is the worst
But it's like,
fucking voice.
Even like
I've ever
even
heard.
like acknowledging the flaws of the series, like the fights go forever and everything's drawn out,
Yeah,
like all that
yeah.
stuff. Even acknowledging that, like something about just like the Americanization of it, like the music that they composed for it and like the voices by everyone, like
that fucking
it,
90s
it has this
grindhouse,
like
whatever.
feeling to it, like this, yeah, like
I
they're
mean,
fucking
I could,
sitting around and it's like, I got a pink shirt, dude. What's up? Wow, Vegeta's got a pink shirt.
I mean,
Vegeta's the
I
best.
remember like even more than the show because I never got into the show, but like my older cousin
Yeah.
was, and he also had like a few of the movies, and I remember enjoying
Yeah.
those just because it was a condensed version of what you were getting out of the show. Like,
Yeah,
it's the cool
yeah, that's
fights.
true.
It was the best animation quality, so you know, like better than the show is gonna
Yeah.
be. Just like an enemy shows up, they're kind of like crazy badass, and then they fucking kill him, and it's set to Disturbed and in fucking Deftones or some shit, you know. Fun
Yeah,
times.
no,
Oh man,
that's true.
speaking
That's
of like
true.
Deftones and like 90s bands, I'm just gonna go on record as saying that the soundtrack to the Digimon movie is the greatest album ever recorded in the history of mankind.
Even though I was a huge
Flips
fan
on
of Digimon,
I
I
don't
don't
remember
think
that
I have
fucking
seen the
movie.
Digimon movie.
Oh, it's terrible, but the soundtrack is
Yeah,
really
a thing of
terrible
beauty.
because from what I understand, at least the first Digimon movie was like
Isn't
fantastic.
the Digimon movie?
No,
Didn't they have,
like,
like,
I
weird
always heard
spliced
that, like,
together of two
yeah, it
movies
was
or
like
something?
spliced together of like three. I don't think you'd
Yeah.
notice if you saw it as a kid. I certainly didn't. But when you get older and you find these things out, and then you watch it, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess that is
like-
kind of weird.
Yeah, I know there were two 30-minute, or 30 or 45-minute Digimon films, so if they did splice them together in America, that's probably why they seemed shitty, but those ones are, because I've seen part of one of them, it was really fucking good, and it's because the director of that went on to do The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars and Wolf
Yeah, that
Children,
guy.
like all these
He's a
fucking
legend.
masterpieces, which the Digimon movie and Summer Wars are almost like the same movie, just like one's with a like teenage cast instead of kids.
That's
And
funny.
if you haven't seen Summer Wars, dude, everyone needs to check that out. It's fucking amazing.
I've seen that shit. I've got a poster. Oh wait, no, I've got The Girl Who Leapt Through Time poster on my wall
He
right
does.
now.
I like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, but Summer
Yeah.
Wars was like top tier for me. That was just
This one was
exciting
free,
and
so I
fun.
picked it up.
I've seen Girl Who Left
And,
Through Time. I have not seen some. I think that's the only movie.
And
he's
he
in
also
that I've
did
seen.
he did the best One Piece movie, the sixth one, which is
Yeah, which I'm the biggest One Piece fan in the entire world, but I have not seen that movie.
really it's like
Yeah,
it's
true.
I've seen almost
But everyone tells me it's the best.
I've seen almost none of the show and all
what
of the movies.
the fuck? What the
Really?
fuck,
Yeah,
man?
because the
That
thing is, I watched
fucked up.
40
You're shooting yourself in the
episodes.
foot, man.
I watched 40 episodes of One Piece with my best
Don't
friend,
watch
and
One
the animation
Piece.
quality,
Drop in the bucket.
One Piece.
the animation quality of One Piece is
Yeah.
so fucking
No,
bad in the early
you're right.
episodes.
The anime is a waste of time. You gotta read
But that's
it,
the
'cause
thing.
The anime is so
There was
shit.
no good scans of the manga on reading sites at the
Yeah,
time. Like the
yeah,
time that I
that's
wanted
true.
to read it, it was like I could find like these shitty tiny ones that were all pixelated or none because it was like
Yeah.
right at the time that people started taking manga down offline, like off of
Oh, when manga reader? No, what was
Manga
the one?
Fox.
Manga.
Like they started taking down everything.
Yeah.
And it was like
Yeah.
I couldn't find One Piece to read anywhere, and I was just like, well, maybe one day I'll buy the entire series or something. But I just said
That'd be
fuck
a
it.
big-
Like I mean, my
Yeah,
my
that's
friend
fucked up.
still reads it. He's been reading it for like 10 years now. But
yeah.
Yeah.
so
Me too. I've been reading that shit for gotta be 12 years. Do you ever read? Speaking of like terrible scans, do you ever read JoJo's Bizarre
that's
Adventure?
the only reason I haven't like read. I read the first
'Cause the
arc,
scans.
and the scans just got so bad.
No,
after
that's
that.
the reason to read it. In part, what is it? Fucking part 4 scans, the Duang scans are like super bad, but that's like half the reason you can enjoy it.
Really?
So much so that like people actually made like for they're making the JoJo anime now.
Uh-huh.
People did like subs in the style of the shitty ass translations. Like they were translated to Chinese and then
Right.
translated from
That's-
that to
those are,
English. Yeah,
It's the
incredible.
Bible Fish, because there's a website
Yeah,
called Bible
yeah.
Fish, I think it's called, or Babelfish, that was like a
Babelfish,
really
yeah.
bad translation site that people used to use back in like
Oh, like
2007.
Hitchhiker's Guide,
and
Babelfish. Put it in your ear.
Yeah, that's the
okay.
joke. Yeah.
I'll never forget. I didn't know that, but I'll never forget that. Like I used to, because we used to have a joke where we'd go onto Babelfish and then you'd type a sentence in English, translate it into Japanese, and then translate it back to English and see what you got, and it would be some fucking
Yeah,
hilarious
yeah.
shit. Well,
That's what
there were
happens.
certain ticks almost that the thing had. Like if you typed the word O, like OH, it would always translate it to
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Oh,
And so, like, I learned those little things about it, and then I watched the Death Note movie in, like, 2007
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
bootleg, and the subtitles on it were Babelfish subs, and they would literally
Nice.
have, like, the word Ohio State and shit like that in there, and I was just, oh my god, what the fuck am I watching?
I bought a bootleg copy
Oh,
of
yeah,
Full Metal
yeah,
Alchemist
yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day, and that I'm pretty sure had like the exact
That one-
same shit.
That's hilarious.
And I paid
like
money
it,
for
it
that.
translated
man.
Winry's name
was
with like an
awesome.
no.
To Wendy.
No,
it kept calling her Wendy, and then
no,
it would
it had
change
like other
sometimes.
ones that had like X's in them, like Winrexu or something. I remember there was some fucked
Yeah.
up translation of this incredibly simple name. That was a bad dub.
Jesse got lost.
Is he gone?
No. We killed him with too much anime.
Yeah.
Gibbon's been lost
I
for a
hate
while.
Yu-Gi-Oh. I hate
I
it.
don't care for
I love
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh.
myself.
It's dumb. You know the thing is about Yu-Gi-Oh, like when I was
Are
a
you gonna say
kid,
that
like
the
it
game
became a
isn't
thing.
Like the
and-
cartoon?
No, what?
That's a legitimate
no,
concern.
the game sucks too. I was like playing when I was a kid. Yu-Gi-Oh came out and it was really popular, and I didn't get it. I'm like, guys, they're fucking. This is like they're like they're just playing a card game. This is literally the dumbest
No,
thing
but
ever,
there's like
right?
Egyptian ghosts. Egyptian ghosts.
The stakes
Oh my
are so
god!
high.
Don't
you
start
don't
with
get
the
it.
Egyptian
Wait,
ghosts,
guys,
okay?
hold on. I actually need you all
Yeah.
to help me determine something now. I
Okay,
need you to help
what?
me figure out if Yu-Gi-Oh should now be ruined forever
Already
for me
ruined.
because it's intrinsically tied to my relationship.
Yes.
Because like the last time that I was at Ashley's house, she suddenly got on this huge Yu-Gi-Oh kick, and we went out, and she bought like the entire first 2 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh, and we marathoned 60 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh in the time dubbed
Jesus.
in the last few days that I was at her house.
Oh my god!
And we went out and bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and we're playing against each other like while watching the show. And like, so when I got home, I was like on a Yu-Gi-Oh card kick, because the thing is, I've been into Yu-Gi-Oh cards since like 2001. That's how I got on the internet. Was through Yu-Gi-Oh
You've been
forums.
giving a golden opportunity. You can use this breakup as your get-out-of-jail-free card to escape from the grip of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, here's the thing, though.
He's right.
Here's the
He's
thing,
right.
is that we were all into Yu-Gi-Oh and shit, right? We were like excitedly watching it, but then like after I left her house, then I was like, you know, because we were like, oh, well, we're gonna watch the rest of Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, 'cause she had bought it all on DVD and shit, and I downloaded the entire show, and then she never wanted to watch it again. So like, then it was like, okay, well, she clearly doesn't care about Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. So am I allowed to like it, or is it just gonna bring up old? It's probably gonna bring up memories at this point.
Are you allowed to like it?
Like,
You know
that's
what?
one of the.
There was this time,
Yeah.
many years ago, when the Footwear Man was still a lad in high school. You know, there was this girl that the
Here we
Footwear
go.
Man might have had a little bit of a crush on.
I don't
And that
believe
girl-
it.
This is juicy.
And believe it or not, once upon a time, the Footwear Man had a heart that could be broken. And the Footwear Man's young heart was crushed. His soul was destroyed.
Oh no.
And me and this girl, we always had like Cowboy Bebop in common, and like, you know, and like Cowboy Bebop is like one of my favorite shows ever. And every time it's on
Me too,
TV,
man.
I fucking run. I'll stop what I'm doing to watch it. But every time I do, it just reminds me of that girl. And there's just like the Indian tear, like the single, like, oh no.
You know, that's interesting because my girlfriend in college
never
really
enjoy this
didn't
again.
like Cowboy Bebop for some reason. And even though like I have no specific complaints against
right?
Cowboy Bebop, but for some reason that has like forever colored it that like I just don't enjoy Cowboy Bebop that much.
You know, my girlfriend in college was really into Eris, and she really loved Eris. Like,
Oh my
as a
god,
person.
you pronounced
And
it
when- I know.
right! You pronounced it right! No one's ever pronounced it
know.
right before! I love you!
It's
You're my
not-
best friend! I'm getting naked!
You're my
I'm
best friend
taking
too.
my pants off.
Eris, yeah.
Wait,
it's
No one
Don't
ever
pronounce it
pronounces it
forever.
right!
Well,
Oh,
Square has
God.
been pronouncing it Aerith for the last like 10 years or something.
They're a bunch of goddamn idiots, so who cares what they fucking do? Anyway, she was really into Eris, and
Just
I,
standing
you
here
know,
naked
I was
now.
kind of a
Strangely
Tifa man because she's
specific
got a
thing to
huge
be
rack.
into.
I don't know. Everyone's got something. But yeah, she's really into Eris. And when I brought up the fact that I liked Tifa, or even all I said was that like I thought Tifa was like an equally good match or something like that, this became like by far the biggest conflict we had ever had.
Dude.
The fact that she was like, no, Cloud's destined girl was Eris.
I never heard this story.
You're causing
Dude,
problems
I
for
know
me
the
by
feel.
implying.
Like that's something
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
to like walk on eggshells around with my girlfriend because I realized
I
that
know,
she was
right?
that kind of like that kind of fan where it's like my way
Yeah.
or everyone else
Dude,
can fucking suck a dick. Like
yeah.
I realized that she was like that pretty early on. So I'd kind of like meet her what characters she liked out of a show before I'd talk about
Yeah.
it. Like
Good
she
idea.
she implied very heavily that with regards to Inuyasha, if I liked Kagome, it was going to be a problem. Like
yeah, I know, right?
I'm totally going to join this
that bitch.
conversation, but I just want to point out that
Yeah.
I'm standing here naked because I tipped my chair over
Really?
and I took my clothes off. And now I'm standing here just hoping that like my mom doesn't open the door because she heard me screaming.
Oh god.
And I'm just
If
in my
I get
birthday
naked
suit.
too, does that make us gay?
for the record, I've been in my underwear and socks this entire time. So
Did you?
I'm
That's
like standing
all
up.
right.
is the weird
Unbelievable.
part. Like I can't.
Unreal.
Which is kind of
Well, you
odd
don't- you
for
don't
me.
wanna get, like,
Usually
your
I'm
ass
wearing
juice
clothes,
all over
but
the seat.
Today I was just like, fuck it.
Speaking of being
I'm nude a
Speaking
lot
of
of the
being
time.
a My Way or the Highway fan, I was totally doing that in fucking Brony Chat Skype today about friendship is witchcraft.
Ben hangs out in the goddamn
fucking
brony chat
so
all
mad
day.
about people
Fuck, how
not
do you
getting
fake?
friendship
Ben,
is witchcraft.
how do you stand that chat?
That's what I tell him. I tell him not to
I-
fucking do it.
I
God,
just-
makes me mad.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's bad, but I just keep looking at it.
I'll tell you why. Here's a secret. Ben's got a crush on Lethal Aurora Mage.
Man, when it comes to bronies, I'll
fucking
tell
true. I
you
don't
what.
talk to her in
if
the chat.
there's
I talk to her
if there's
elsewhere.
one place worse than 4chan, it's everywhere else.
Thank you. You know
Oh,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
never thought of it like that before.
In any, I mean,
I
don't get me
just-
wrong. I'm friends
I
with several people
justify
from
it
that
to
chat.
myself by saying
you
that I
know.
like to check into the chat after every episode to see the reaction. That's what I tell myself.
Huh. Yeah, right.
That's exactly
I
why
go on
I
MLP
wouldn't
for
want
that.
to do that. Like, that's exactly.
I know, right?
There's a certain.
0 out of 10.
This
Everyone
is
was out
gonna be
of
a very
character.
footwear thing of me to say, but sometimes I don't want to hold everyone's opinion in the same regard.
No.
Where I'm like,
well, you can't. Some people are fucking dinguses.
There's people in there that are 20, and then there's people in there that are literally like 12. So
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you don't always know who.
Somehow.
And there's people in there who are
are
literally 20 who act like they're literally 12. So
it's true.
Like me.
Yep.
Like Gibbon here, for example.
Nah, Gibbon, you're wise beyond your years, my friend.
Oh God, I'm so smelly and sweaty.
Gibbon, let me be honest with you. If you didn't go in that chat, I definitely would never.
It's true.
Nice.
Really, Gibbon, I'm amazed that you like. You're among us more wise individuals, yet you can somehow stand being there. I don't see.
Well,
Maybe it's
it's
because
like,
you have a greater empathy.
I have, like, my mum always said I would make a good lawyer because I'm good at seeing both sides of the conversation without getting emotionally attached all that much. So I can see all these people's, and I know that they're stupid, but I don't get angry at them. I'm just like, well, I'm
always
smart.
exactly.
At least I'm smarter than
gift.
they are. So.
I like how we all have to be very careful though not to name any names, just because.
I know, right? Yeah, I was.
It's
thinking
almost
that
like the
same
people
thing.
we have to
changes,
pass by on the street every day, like in a
Almost,
metaphorical
yeah.
sense. Like
I already.
I mean,
named
I don't
them.
want-
It's
I don't want
everybody who's
fucking,
not here right now.
Well, it changes
I mean,
because
Yeah.
sometimes
Oh, yeah.
people are okay. Sometimes I agree with Biter, sometimes I don't.
Like, Ben? Who's that guy who released that video about the takedown of
Nikki,
what's it that we
Nikki
liked?
MLP, Nikki VMLP.
Yeah, like that guy. He actually released a video that was like A-okay, but in my book. So
I've never heard of
good
him.
job,
He's-
Nikki.
He
Yeah,
He's
I
orange.
has a football
he comments on
team.
our videos. So
pretty sure Past Analysis is still in there, and I like him. Skywatcher's still in there. I like him.
he is, yeah.
Fuck.
Clifford Beats is kind of fun.
I like Cloud Cuckoo Country.
He's never.
He's still in there.
Don't think he speaks that much.
I don't even think of him as a pony man. He's a I don't know, he's
I mean,
something
but he's
Yeah.
in there for some
He
reason.
can suck
He
a
might as
dick.
well be
Oh,
a
is
pony
he?
man.
Yeah, like everyone he talks to is pony people. He just happens to be a litter because he did one video about like 2-minute video about My Little Pony like a year ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's
that's
permanently associated with the
That's
pony
it. That's
fandom.
all it takes to get into this fucking black
People
hole
at
of a
home,
community.
Yeah.
try it
You can even call
yourself.
a
You can do it
community.
too.
Oh, but Gibbon, you mentioned like being able to see both sides of the conversation and like not getting angry. That reminds me of how like me and Ben, like every time we make a fucking video, we have like usually incredible
No,
fights.
they're not fights.
About like
but we do get pissed. We
anything.
do get pissed and like have to leave the
Yeah.
room because we can't fucking handle it.
It's true. We just like it's. I don't know. We come across like fairly genial, but we get into some like really, just really fucking pissed off at each other's shit
Yep.
sometimes. And yeah, that's all.
It's true,
Just felt
though.
like sharing that with you.
So
So Gibbon, you're the opposite of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the
Yeah.
middle. I don't get mad about shit, but I also just get
Yeah.
if someone's saying something that's so like disconnected from my opinion that I don't really care
Yeah.
about it, then I
Yeah.
won't listen to it. Like because
Yeah.
that
We
was
get
the
snippy
whole
like
trouble that me and like that the argument sort of that me and Biter used to have back in the day, back when I
Yeah.
still talked to him way at the start of like the pony
Yeah.
analysis thing. Was that he always accused me of not like looking at both sides of the argument, which he doesn't do either. But he'd be
Yeah.
like, "All you do is represent the positive," and I was like, "That's because your side of the argument doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't say anything to me. Like I don't get where you're coming
Yeah.
from."
You're the fucking prosecution. It's not your job to defend the guy on death row or whatever.
Just like
You're here to convict.
he would have times where he would, because the reason I stopped talking to him entirely and sort of like put a big distance between myself and him and left the because I used to be a regular guest on Crepuscular Bronies Discuss way back when it first started.
Yeah, right.
It was me, Biter, and A and Y Pony, and like Biter and I would get into these fucking heated arguments, and it was like over the last episode of season 3, there was an argument we had where I literally told him to shut the fuck up in the middle of a recording. Like I told him shut the fuck up and let me finish.
I remember coming away from those Crepuscular Bronies Discuss and being like, does Biter even like the show? He doesn't seem like he even likes the show. More importantly, though, have you guys seen his video on what he thinks about Rainbow Rocks?
No, I haven't.
It was an April Fool. It's just an April Fool's
that
joke.
one, you told me
it's
about
just
that.
him
Yeah.
playing an actually pretty excellent kazoo rendition of True True Friend. He's got like layered tracks and stuff. It's great.
Wow.
Nice. He busted his shit
In
out
any
for that.
case, like, but there was one time where he was in a comment thread. It was on my Q&A videos, and on like the last one, he starts leaving a comment basically about how I kind of like someone asked me a question about the people who like don't like, you know, Alicorn Princess Twilight, and this was before I made the video, the Alicorn Princess Twilight Sparkle video. Like, and I kind of like flippantly dismissed those people as like, oh well, they're just butthurt,
as you should.
Kind of
they're
thing,
fucking
you know?
subhuman.
So
Yeah.
And like in the comments, Biter attacked me for that. He was like, you know, the way you're treating it like we don't have any valid points and stuff like that. And I told him, I was like, Biter, you've attempted to explain what you don't like about it, but I don't understand. Like the way he tries to explain why he doesn't like it doesn't make any sense to me, you know, because he's the kind of person who'll say like, oh, it's contrived and it's bad writing, but not like back that up like with why is it contrived, why is it bad.
In the Skype chat does.
Yeah, like 90% of the analysts in this community.
You know?
Yeah, he's
So in any case, like I kind of was like, I told him, I don't understand where you're coming from. You haven't explained it in a way that I can understand. And he told me that he said either you're lying or you're an idiot. That's what he said. He was like, because basically,
both good things to be.
right, he was like, either you're lying and you do understand me and you just don't want to, like, you know, form a real argument, or you're an idiot. And I don't think, and then he said, I don't think you're an idiot because you've, you know, made it clear that you can, like, think about stuff, so that just means you're lying. And I was like, how the fuck would I be, like, why? Why would I be lying that I don't understand where you're coming from? I really didn't. I don't get it. Like, the way he explains things is ass backwards. So I was just like,
Biter, I just want to go on the record. I bear you no ill will.
Can't hear a word you're saying.
I am blameless here. Doesn't matter. Never mind.
Anyway, so that was when I like that's what inspired me to make that Alicorn Princess video. Was just like I was so pissed off at Biter specifically that I wanted like a video to just be like, all right, here's all the reasons Alicorn Princess Twilight Sparkle is awesome. I'm a fucking Alicorn Princess, and I won't know. You know, like,
I don't.
That's
know
a nice story.
Can like keep interacting with a person that fucking retarded for that long and not just.
That's what happened.
To me, it sounds like when Biter was
now.
just trying to like he was just trying to express how like how hard that it was for him to like how much he was disconnected from your point of view, and you know he probably didn't actually mean you're either stupid or a liar.
He said
I know
words.
he used those words.
No,
but
he used to link me videos of like okay, you know that like what is Babby video, like the cavemen thing.
I guess so.
He would think an argument I said was stupid, and he would send me videos of like stupidity to say that this is you. Like he'd literally compare me to internet videos about being stupid. The guy really just thought I was a fucking idiot, and I was like, he showed me no respect on the field of conversation. So I was like, all right, I'm not talking to this guy anymore.
Well, hey, the best revenge is living well.
Yeah.
So just look at that Digi sub count.
That's a lie.
Yeah,
the people have spoken.
You're now immune to all.
It is the
life's
best
problems.
revenge.
I wish.
Exactly,
I wish
exactly.
I was, but I think my channel's dying because.
Well, it's I watch this like a hawk, and you have been declining a little bit lately.
Yeah, I've been. My view counts are declining. I mean, my sub count declined a little, then it gained a little, and I thought I was like, whatever. The change worked because more people started contributing on Patreon, and that's all that really matters.
That's all that matters.
It's like how many people
gotta get those stats
are paying me basically. But like, cause I mean that's I don't want to sound like oh all I care about is money, but it is more important than the sub count, because like
it's all a means to an end. Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Like.
And subs is really only a means to get views, so really views are actually more important.
The views are far more important than the subs, and if you're not getting good monetization on YouTube because it's fucking you over, then Patreon is what really counts.
Did you see how much we've made total?
Yeah, our entire
channel
is worth
$10.
Yeah, like $10.
About $10.50 total.
Yeah.
Total.
Like
I have 0 views on everything. It's a crime against goddamn humanity.
It is a crime, because, Jesse, your stuff is brilliant. You deserve a million subs, a million...
I deserve the world, and they offer me shit.
But, like, when I changed my video style, my Patreon contributions went up, like, exponentially. Yeah. Like, they had grown stagnant, and then they increased suddenly. But now they are going down a little bit. Like, a few people have, like, reduced their pledges or stopped or something, just, I guess, they eventually were like, okay, the new videos aren't working for me, kind of thing, And
I guess so,
it's just kind of at that point where, like, the numbers have stagnated all across the board, if not decreased. People don't care as much in general about, like, what I'm doing on the side or this, and, like, nobody's watching episode 3 of Elements of Brony, even though it's, like, fucking amazing.
I don't like Elements of Brony.
True.
Not really.
What is even so good about Elements of Brony?
What? How do you not like
what's
it?
Good
it's
about
the
it?
best.
It's just like some guys talking. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
More
we're just some guys
brony
talking.
propaganda.
How is that? How is it less than
Given
this?
likes it, though.
Neil X asks particularly good questions or keeps the conversation going in a particularly good direction.
Well, he does.
Well, this is important.
Doesn't
You
matter
need
that
to
you
tell
don't
him
think
this
that.
because he's always looking for critique, and no one will give it to him. So, like, because he's
there you go, babe.
desperately
One-
trying to figure out why each episode gets so many fewer views than the last. You know.
Well, that's
But,
good.
like,
then.
One big damning critique.
novelty
and
wore
that's-
off, maybe?
I'm not in it. That's the most damning thing I can
For
say about
for us,
anything.
like, the thing
The
is,
world's not ready for
when
you,
we
Jesse.
when we like started Elements of Brony, like. The thing is, we recorded all 6 episodes at once, right? And then he goes and he does all the editing and shit, and that's what he's been doing forever since. Because we recorded them in June or like May to June last year, and like for each episode, like the first 2, I didn't really think were all that important, but the third one was where it got interesting because it's talking about like gender politics and shit. And then episodes 5 and 6 were the ones that are like. Because the whole point of the series was that we wanted to start from small and work our way up to big. So, like, we'd start off just talking about, like, how people as individuals respond to the show.
You know
And
what I
then
think it
on the
is? I
second
think
level, it
it's-
would be how bronies as a culture respond to the show. Then on the third level, it would be about, like, what the show suggests, like, culturally towards gender and age, politics, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then on the fourth level, like the fourth episode is about how My Little Pony relates to other shows. So it's all like us comparing stuff in My Little Pony to other shows we've seen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then once you get up to episode 5, that's where it becomes philosophical, and it's just like me and Brony Curious going on these like hour-long philosophy rants. And this dude, Chris LaFortune, who starts joining us around that time, and he's one of the coolest like bloggers that I know, who no one's heard of ever except for me. And he's just like my friend who writes this like insanely heady shit about anime.
Is that Misfortune Dog?
Yeah, Misfortune Dog. Oh, so you've heard of
from
him,
you.
like from Twitter or
No,
what? Or from me
I've
mentioning
heard
him
you
in my
talk
videos?
about him, and I think I tried to look him up.
Yeah. He writes like, cause he doesn't. I don't know if he's like. I don't know if he's like an autistic savant or something like that. He's one of those people who he definitely is like, definitely not socially normal at all, but in a way that's like fucking genius. You know, he's one of those people who like can just spout shit from every philosophy text he's ever read, and he's just incredibly well like. It's funny because he's just like a young black guy who's read all this shit and just spouts knowledge constantly, and he doesn't have a filter for it. Like that's what makes it like. Well, and he's even asked himself. He's like, I think I might be autistic, just because he has no filter for like using terms that people don't know, you know, and just kind of going off on his own tangent. So when you read his blog, you'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about half the time? But then you get to the conclusions, and you're like, oh, okay, I think I get it now.
You've made me curious to watch
know?
future elements of Brony to see him.
Yeah, I mean, episodes 5 and 6 are definitely the most. Like, I remember after episode 5, I told Neil, I was like, this whole series needs to happen just for this episode because this is the best conversation I've ever had. But, like, the whole point was just to apply, like, My Little Pony against, like, ever-growing levels of philosophical discourse. But the whole point of the series is to frame My Little Pony in culture and in the world. Like, just frame it and see what it is exactly inside of
I think the problem
the world.
is that people are burnt out on the exposition of we're bronies and this is what we are and this is how the thing is
right.
different from
But that's
everyone
the
else.
problem. Like, the problem is that people are burned out on it, but we're doing so much of a better job of it than everyone else. Because, like, he started the series because he watched the Brony doc and went, you know, like, because he loves John
Delancey's
Delancey,
Brony doc
but
was
he
shit.
was like, he watched the Brony documentary and he was like, this doesn't explain anything, you know? Like, it introduces people to the concept of bronies, but it doesn't explain them on, like, this macro level, so
it's
that's
just
what
I have one particular complaint. Is that whenever gender issues come up, everyone always turns to Clover Keene and asks her opinion as though she somehow speaks for all Pegasisters.
Why?
That's how
'Cause
it.
she's a girl.
She's the only woman
But
we
yeah,
had.
but I just like
Well,
she can't
yeah,
speak
yeah.
for everyone, you know. She her opinion is only worth
Right,
so
but, I
much.
mean,
it's not exhaustive.
None of us
That's
can.
true.
I mean, part of the problem with the series is that, like, we all admit it because we realized pretty quickly we're all liberal, like, all of us. And, I mean, most bronies are, but there is a considerable amount of conservative bronies, you know. We're a bunch of liberals. We're almost all art students. It's literally Clover Keene and Neil X are both law students, and the rest of us are art kids, you know. Like, So there's not a huge amount of variety in the show, and that's one of the biggest things that like we kind of regretted afterwards, was like that we only had one girl, you know, that we had such a limited amount of people. But this was last June, so there wasn't like a ton of female analysts.
So it takes him like 6 months to produce one of those, you know, having them all been recorded already?
He's been working on all of them at once, basically, but yeah, it took, like, because he's, again, a full-time law student, so...
The thing about the gender issues, the gender politics of, like, people are so retarded about it, because it's like, well, My Little Pony came along, and it's made people realize that it's okay for little boys to know that they can grow up to be effeminate, and, you know, a boy should be allowed to wear a My Little Pony backpack without getting harassed. No, that's completely the wrong lesson to take away from it, you fucking idiots. If you're putting your fucking 8-year-old son in a My Little Pony backpack and sending him to school, you don't deserve to be a fucking parent, because you're getting your son in a world of shit, you stupid fucking
What you're doing
morons.
is not facing the reality of the situation.
Well,
that's
the point of episode 3, though, is to say that, like, the reality is broken, and like the whole thing, because Neil X, what he loves about My Little Pony is that he sees it as the first sign, or at least a sign, of the social change that's happening, you know. And he's saying, like, the fact that we're even talking about it, because like if a kid brought a My Little Pony backpack to school 3 years ago and he got beat up for it, it wouldn't have made the news. But the fact that it makes the news now, and now we're having a public discussion about it, means that society is changing in some way.
It's not. Society is not changing, and it's never ever going to. It's been, we are the same primitive barbarians that we have been for thousands and thousands of years. Listen, we still live in a society where we cut off parts of babies' penises because some Jews decided that God told them to. And you're trying to tell me that we're not primitive fucking barbarians?
That
doesn't hurt anybody,
proof
right?
of change.
I agree. I agree with Jesse. I think people make too much of the whole bronies are like heralding
gender
social
roles
change
are
thing. I don't
never
buy it.
ever changing, and people can try to say that we're moving in a certain direction. We're not. We still have slavery in this world. It's just shifted. We just shift these things around so people think we're progressing. But humanity does not progress.
To both Jesse and Neil, that I literally these are the two people I talk to the most in my life, is Jesse and Neil X. Almost every day I talk to each of them on Skype. No one else I talk to that much. And every time I talk to Neil, it's him relating to me some amazing story about why bronies are awesome, and every time I talk to Jesse, it's him relating to me some horrible story about why bronies are the worst.
Just like the whole fantasy that like someday society's going to get to a point where we're all holding hands and everything is great. It's a lovely little fantasy, but that's all it is. It's completely unrealistic. It's never going to happen. Well, we're monsters. Human beings are
certainly
animals.
Not in our lifetimes.
That's just your pessimistic take
on
it,
No, it's
though.
not pessimistic. It's not his take on it. It's just the fact.
How can it be pessimistic? I'm not angry about it. It uplifts me. I think I'm fine with it.
Well, like, I don't know. Like, me and Neil, and I'm kind of with him on this. I mean, I don't think about the future much. I don't think about change that much. But Neil, his entire thing is that he's hoping to see the world become Star Trek. Because he's a giant Star Trek fan.
We'd all like to see that.
And he just wants to see the world become Star Trek. And he sees My Little Pony as being sort of the second coming of what Star Trek was in the 70s. And, like, if you watch episode 3, like, a lot of it is about, like, he pulls a lot of, like, Martin Luther King quotes about, like, when Martin Luther King watched Star Trek and was, like, an avid fan of it. And he credited it as part of the social change because there was a black woman who was important on the show. And it made it so black women were, you know, having an empowering role in television. And he met with that character, the woman who played Lieutenant Uhura, and he, like, said to her, you know, like, she was planning to leave Star Trek, and he said, you can't. Yeah. Because
Did you just watch that Boondocks episode?
No, I didn't.
Well, you know what?
I did. They talked about the same thing.
Martin Luther King was shot, Abraham Lincoln was shot, and Lauren Faust had her dreams wrestled from her.
Right.
So that just shows you what the world really is.
The thing about Pony is that the most important thing it's doing is just to open society to the idea. I'm not saying it's changing anything. And that's the thing about Elements of Brony. We talk about stuff on this macro level, but we're not saying that it's doing this extreme shit. None of us are extremists. We're rationalists, you know. But what we are saying is that it is indicative of a movement towards regarding little girls as not necessarily shitty, you know. Like, that's all it really is. It's the first sign that maybe little girl shows aren't gonna suck shit from now.
It might herald that change in a temporary way in the little microcosm that we know as the Western world.
I mean, because everything's cyclical, and we can always say that yes, this is progressive society now, but maybe 200 years we're all gonna blow up, and then it's gonna regress back to whatever.
Probably.
I mean, every empire falls historically, and the only reason that we believe that we're moving towards a beautiful future is because we haven't been alive long enough to see an empire fall, But
yeah, that's what they say.
But it could go either way, because we really, with technology progressing the way it is, there's hope that if we did have like the Star Trek or the Mass Effect universe, because we'd be leaving this planet behind, and then who knows what we'll take into the stars. Does an empire fall if it's not even on Earth anymore? Are we still in the same? That's the eternal question of technology, is are we still in a world that's comparable to the old worlds that fell? We know that there was social progress hundreds of times throughout history. Every time there was a new empire, there was a new wave of social progress. There was a new, liberal movement or whatever that, people kept getting more and more rights. There's been societies in history where women were more powerful than men, and people act like it's been all time that
like
men
America,
were, over women, but it wasn't the case. It's been cyclical. But will it still be cyclical, or will we spiral out like that fucking Tool song? Just are we following like a Fibonacci sequence of societies, and eventually it's gonna spiral out and leave the planet Earth and go on to like this perfect helix? We don't know. So, you can either be hopeful or you can say it's probably all gonna start over. Personally, I don't like thinking ahead because I'm not gonna be alive to see it anyways. Or if I am, it'll be because we hit a technological singularity in like 2044, and then I put my brain in a computer, and then we all live in Ghost in the Shell. And that's what I really want.
Yeah, I like that.
I want to convert to energy personally. Just, all of us Titan AE it and just...
I just hate bronies so much.
Space travel.
Energy beings are not a thing.
That's what it really comes back to.
I hate their circle jerking and patting themselves on the fucking back and... Oh, God.
Maybe it's just me, but I kind of feel like there's first there was the wave of the big bronies and proud thing, but now I think, I'm sure it's always been there, but I'm seeing more.
There's an
in
anti-wave.
Ben are kind of
definitely.
Yeah, there's an anti-wave of like normal people liking the show, and I think that's sort of evening things out.
Right,
and I think it'll be.
But that's kind of
a healthy
almost
thing.
to an extent. Like Neil wants to fight against that because he sees it as basically people being pussies. Like people are pussying out on the movement.
I don't see liking My Little Pony to be
Jesus
anything worth
Christ.
taking a stand based on.
It's not liking My Little Pony that's worth taking a stand on. It's the things that it represents that's worth taking a stand on.
Sure.
It's the message of the show that's worth taking a stand on. And if we can use the show as a flagship for that, then it's a good thing,
It's been trampled repeatedly by Hasbro. It's over.
Well, you
had your little chance, and it
you
failed.
can interpret the show in however you want, I guess.
Right.
So that makes you wonder what is the message.
That's
then?
it though. Like, it's fractured so much now. Where the early message, it really bronies were a lot more unified in the beginning. Where there really was this sense of everyone wants it to be this way, and now it's had time for there's so many people, and it's just another thing to be. It's no longer. It's kind of like the difference between being a punk in the 80s when punk meant anarchy and wearing a certain kind of clothes and going to a certain kind of show, and now just anyone's a punk. Anyone who's got spiky hair is a punk. And it doesn't mean anything other than that.
Any positive message that My Little Pony ever had was completely slayed when they made Equestria Girls and The Wedding and all that shit. It's completely dead. It's over. Lauren Faust has spent the last 2 years curled up in Craig McCracken's lap drinking boxed wine and drowning her sorrows.
I don't believe there's been any shift in the show of that nature. I just don't buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's been a shift. I'm just saying that,
symbolically they've killed it.
Well, the whole point of the show is that little girl shows don't have to be the way that they've been, and they've proven that they do. Actually, you can't fight.
I still don't get it.
That's what you mean.
Are you
okay?
Look at Equestria Girls. Complete marketing scam.
Just because that
just designed to appeal.
Well, no.
That's part of the show.
Watch the Disney Channel sometime and see the little sitcoms they have for the girls and see the behavior that they teach little girls is how they should act. And you'll see that there's no stopping it. That's why women are horrible, spoiled, evil little psycho mutants, because they're trained from a young age by all this shit they see on TV to be this way, to be snotty little cunts. And My Little Pony, as great of an idea it was, as much as her heart was in the right place, her vision failed. You can't change the tide. You can't fight the ocean.
I mean, what would be success? Like just completely changing every little girl's person, like, making everyone into a fucking socially progressive, super cool guy. I don't think it's how can you say that it failed?
There is no success because you can't fix it. You can't fix what humanity has wrought.
I think it already succeeded.
It's a pipe dream.
I mean, the fact that there are now there's no question that there's more people now than before who think it's acceptable. Even if it's not everyone, even if it's not even a noticeable change, there's more. Like, to me, I've always said that, like, if my videos can reach at least one person, then I feel like it was worthwhile, right? Because that means that one person's mind has been changed, or one person has been educated. So, like, even if I can't educate everyone, that one guy means that there is a social change happening. It's a very minute one, but even if I educate one guy, it's still a social change.
Okay, I'm with you. There's definitely a social change, but I think the thing might be, like, throughout history, there's been, like, fluidity of, like, gender-identifying traits, like pink used to be a masculine color, all that bullshit. Maybe the issue is just that My Little Pony is transitioning from strictly a female thing to a masculine thing, not in the way that it's expanding our understanding of gender identity at large. It's just changing what we think about this one thing.
About, because, like, that's why I did that whole, like, embracing girliness video, because it pissed me off that so many people were like, My Little Pony is manly, and it's like, no, it's not.
Right,
it's not manly. The point
completely.
is that men can enjoy it even though it's not manly. You know, the point
fact,
is
the fact that society now thinks that gender identity is something we have to figure out or learn about just shows that humanity has devolved from the old days. It shows that we've gone backwards. This is like simple biological shit. Men and women are different, and people fucking don't understand it.
Speaking my language,
what that reminds me of, because this bothers me, because a lot of people think, like, they'll say, oh, there's so many more gay people now, like, percentage-wise, right? But there's not. It's just that gayness was persecuted, so no one fucking admitted to it, you know? Like, I think
it always? It wasn't in the Renaissance or in Rome?
I think these gender questions have always been around. I think people have always had these kind of problems. They just weren't allowed to talk about it before, you know? I don't think it's something new.
Well, there's definitely a large element of that, but, I mean, you can't argue that, like, you could argue about how genetic or whatever, like, gayness is, but because it's more accepted, like, there's going to be at least, like, one guy who might have been on the fence who's going to go
I mean, there's definitely more openness to it, which is, I mean, not even a problem.
Well, I'm not saying that, like, I don't believe in, like, gay people. Like, fucking in ancient Rome, all the guys were fucking other guys, you know?
I wish I had been born then. It would have been great.
It's just that, like, people are like, well, what is gender identity? Are these stereotypes about men and women really true about what men like and what women are like? Yes, they're fucking true. It's not even an issue. The fact that it is an issue is insane.
With you. You know what gets me? Gender fluidity. Because I don't understand what the difference is between being, like, a man sometimes and a woman other times, or identifying as one or the other, versus just, like, being in a different mood. There's nothing happening that, like, I don't see how you can expect people to, like, call you by one pronoun sometimes and another pronoun another time based on, like, your mood.
I've never heard of fluidly going between them.
I mean, like,
I've known a number of transgendered people.
You need to spend more time on Tumblr.
I've never heard of gender fluidity that way, but
I don't understand. It is a thing, and I don't understand why it needs to be.
I mean, it's just I feel very male.
Yeah, people say that, and I don't know what the fuck it means.
Female.
Well, like, if you're a guy...
But here's the question, though, is that should you understand what it
you.
means? I mean, well, because that's the thing. Like, the problem I have is not with... I don't have any problem with people, like, let's say you have gender fluidity, right? You believe that about yourself. Whatever, that's fine. Yeah. What I have a problem with is when everyone's expected to understand that innately, you know? Yeah. Because there's always, to me, the burden of responsibility for explaining yourself falls on the person who has something that other people are not going to generally understand. And I know that's
the thing. I know isn't it? People expect them to understand.
It's unfair in a way because everyone else in society doesn't get it and you do, and it sucks for you. But you should understand that. You should understand that nobody else gets it. And I mean, that's like my whole career is based on that. It's like my whole identity is based on no one understood me, so I learned to explain myself, you know? Like if I tell people I love My Little Pony, they go, "What the fuck? Why?" And so I would sit there and give like this entire detailed regiment like on why I like it.
Because you're a pedophile.
Right, exactly. I
That's right.
fucking just
That's why
molest
I'm
children
here.
all day, so like it was just right. It was that sweet spot for me, but which is like hilarious because I was a huge lolicon before I got into pony, and that's kind of
and
why,
now the
but,
ponies give you
like,
something to talk about with the lolies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a good
That's a
conversation
common bridge.
starter.
All right, great.
Yeah.
You know,
But
it's just
anyway,
like,
besides the point, like, you know, that's how I've been. People didn't get what I liked, so I explained it. And to me, that's my burden. That's something I have to be able to do. Like, if I was considering myself gender fluid, I would have the patience with other human beings to explain to them what that means and and I wouldn't expect them to just get it and be like totally responsive. Like one of the coolest people I know is this dude named Julian, who is a transgender right now. He's an awesome pony. Have you ever heard of Jeff Burgess, the pony
yeah,
musician?
I've heard of him.
I've heard of
Did
him.
a bunch
yeah,
of fucking
yeah,
awesome
sure.
songs. He's currently like considers himself a transgender. I don't think he started taking medication yet, but he's trying to become a woman, and he completely didn't expect anyone to just switch names immediately or switch pronouns or think of him as a woman. He didn't expect that because he knows better,
Well,
you know,
that's good.
or she
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
better. See, I still fuck it up, but she doesn't hold that against me, you know? Like, sometimes I'll say Jeff, sometimes I'll say Julian. I can't get it right.
Caught up on pronouns. When you're getting caught up on
Julian a man's
pronouns
name
and shit,
too?
that's just drawing lines in the sand, which you would think someone that claims that gender is just a social construct would be against, and yet they keep doing it.
Right. That's what's weird about it to me is
That's the problem. Drawing
when
those,
someone says
lines.
like, it's important to me that I say that I'm a man, or it's important to me that I say that I'm a woman, but then they say it's important to me that man and woman not be distinct. That is a weird, like, but that's the thing. You can't blame Tumblr for this because they're fucking kids.
Yeah,
And
I'm with you.
I know
That's
you
true.
guys. I don't know how you knew either of you is to Tumblr, but what you'll gradually realize is that they are fucking kids. They are like all teenagers.
Man, we deal with all kids. That's
the
what
thing
we're
is,
doing here. Everyone involved
right,
with
like,
us.
well, because I've noticed there's a huge difference, and I'll see this any social media place I'm involved with. There's two different camps that respond to me. There's the camps who overreact, and they're all children, and then there's the people who are wondering why everyone's overreacting, and they're adults who don't realize that the rest are children. Like, on my videos about the smoking, like, there's all these people who are like, oh my god, what's this thing? And then there's these comments that are like, why is everyone overreacting about the smoking? And those are the adults not realizing that the rest of them are children, and that's why, you know? And, like, and I mean, I'm making a generalization, I'm sure that's not completely true, but, you know, that's how I feel about Tumblr, is that, like, when that whole Down with Molestia thing happened, which I was entirely too involved with, like, the girl who started it was Pinky Pony, right? And everyone fucking hated her after she got it taken down. And 4chan was talking about, like, fucking, oh, we gotta find this bitch and take her down and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Pinky Pony is 17. She's just some kid, you know? Like, she wanted to do Down with Molestia.
Which is so hot.
Tumblr culture, the whole Tumblr thing is a symptom. It's not the cause. And unfortunately, we've gone so far down the rabbit hole as a society, I don't know if we can even find the cause anymore. I think we're just, it's done. It's over. We're circling the drain.
I think it's just kids. It's
You know,
just
I
like
think
kids hanging out. And now they have
You know,
huge
I used
voices.
to get really
That's
excited
the issue.
about stupid bullshit when I was a kid, too, so how can I hold it against them?
Exactly.
Right, that's how I feel about it in general, where, like, because when I was a kid, and there's also the element of, you know, because when you're a teenager, you don't feel like you have a lesser voice than adults. But you kind of should.
You're an adult, and you
this
hear
is me speaking for myself
you're an
as
adult
well.
And you hear teenagers
like,
speaking, and you're like, yeah.
Right. Like, when I was a
think,
teenager, I spent my teen years on the internet, and people fucking hated me my whole teen years because I was a douchebag. I was like, I was one of those angry kids who yelled all the time about my opinions and shit, and I got mad at other people for having different opinions. And then and it was always the 20-somethings who were like, you know, who were pissed off at me, and I was always like, why don't they understand like that I'm a kid? Why aren't they more patient with me? And then I got to be their age, and I was like, oh my god, fuck these teenagers, you know, like,
I
like
know,
that's
right?
I totally got it then, and then I was like. And it like whenever I see someone who talks kind of like I did back then, that's when
what
I
was
go,
saying.
okay, let
That's
me
what I
calm
was
down
saying
a
about
minute,
Cloud
you
Cuckoo
know?
Country. He really reminds me of myself in college, and I don't have anything personal against him, but when I've heard him say things that remind me of myself in the past, it really fucking bugs me. That's all
Right.
I have.
I mean, I
against
can understand
Cloud Cuckoo
that.
Lander.
Anytime.
Did you just say it bucking bugs you?
I tried
You
to
said
say fucking.
fucking,
If
right?
it sounded like a B, I'm sorry, everyone. I am so sorry.
Here's the thing about I mean, now I'm on this whole thing about trying to find the root of what destroyed society. And what it always comes down to me, you know, you can trace it, all this social justice crap that's killing everyone's soul, making everyone evil, and making it okay for us to be bigots toward each other again. You can trace it all back to the funding of feminism. You know, and how that but then you go even farther and you realize, well, feminism sort of had to happen coming out of the civil rights movement of the black
Civil
people,
rights movement, yeah.
and we had to have civil rights for the black people. You had to have that. You had to end slavery, right? So that was inevitable. So
Right.
this was all inevitable. So the whole thing really is just like the natural order of a society collapsing, and it's totally right and natural. And America's just doomed, and that's totally fine. It's inevitable, Mr. Anderson, and that's why. Why do you
waiting.
persist? Why do you fight?
I was
Why?
like, where's
Can
the
we talk
Matrix
about?
gonna come into
You know,
this? Like-
I was, you know, my
Yeah.
I actually like the third one, you know, because everyone says that the two sequels are bad. The second one was kind of iffy, but I like the third one. You had Captain Mahoney and the big fucking robots when they invaded
one was
Zion.
alright,
The third one was
yeah.
pretty cool. But anyways, what do you
Second
feel
was
about
load
the
of
Matrix,
bullshit,
Gibbon?
I've never seen it.
Jesus!
Are you
Fail.
fucking
it.
kidding me?
I did that
Get
for
up.
you!
I'm drowning in horseshoes.